is what I think. I will drown in pink. Yeah, 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 yeah. Paint away, day and night, 6 hearts, hope I'm okay. You're alright, goodbye then if you dare. Someone new is pulling everywhere. I'm afraid to let them. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in pink. Yeah, 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 yeah. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in pink. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. Nothing is what I think. Yeah, 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 yeah. 'Cause I will drown in pink. Oh, 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 oh. Hey, I just wanna change the world. I just want the perfect girl. I don't wanna hang around, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. You, I will never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they said. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant truth. I know that you will understand because I finally found myself. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant. Hey, I just wanna change the world, but I'm not gonna wait my turn. I don't ever want to come down, I'd rather be found. It gets better, I wonder, my pleasure together. Everyone's waiting, anticipating. Let's go! What do we got, people? Is it Wednesday? Tuesday? What day is it? You, I will never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they said. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant truth. I know that you will understand because I finally found myself. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant. You're radiant. Tuesday, let's go. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's my world. Whoa. No, no, no. Oh, it's time. Yeah, 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 yeah. Whoa. I can't pretend. No, 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 no. I hope this never ends. It's about you. I will never be alone again. I'm immune to the things they said. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant truth. I know that you will understand because I finally found myself. My heart's unbreaking. You're radiant. You're radiant. Let's go. Dude, how we doing? Let's fucking go! One more. We're gonna listen through the guitar solo of this next song. Oh, why? Do you need? Let's go! It's over. Do you need anything like I need? Oh, yeah! Oh! You're buffering? Dude, that sucks that you're buffering. Dude, we are not buffering here. We are unbuffered. Let's go! I've got no place to be alone, my friend. He cut his wrist instead. There's your answer. You better save yourself or else. It's nothing like success. I would rather be in hell than regret. Do you need anything like I need you? It's over. Oh, Tratifa. Oh, shit. Let's go. Dude, that sucks. You're buffering. Dude, how we doing? Most of the time with reality, and permit me to breathe before I do it again. Do you need anything like I need? Let's go! It's over! Oh. Little guitar solo, then we're gonna get into it. It's one of my favorites. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, dude, Trump and that visa shit is wild, boss. Here we go! Come on! Do you
Let's go. Dude, feels good to get out of the shower. Do you need anything like I need you? All right. Let's go. Here we go. All right. Dude, still the best intro in politics. How are we doing? How are we doing? Tuesday night, fucking, Tuesday night, boss, right? Today was a big day for me. Today, some of you know, some of you don't know, but my 20-year-old son and his girlfriend moved to New York City about a month ago. And just last week, they got an apartment in Brooklyn and they moved in. They don't have their stuff yet. They're like sleeping on the floor. Their stuff is in storage in Jersey. They're going to be getting that this week. And now, what happened today was the first thing I sent them via Amazon. Cause like, I didn't know this, but I'm learning a lot about New York, but they moved into an apartment. But I guess a lot of apartments in New York, like the radiators, when they turn that shit on, the apartments are like just way too warm, right? Because you can't control the heat individually in these old fucking New York buildings. So I got them an air conditioner to like help them fucking even out the climate. So that was pretty cool. Dude, I don't know how Amazon drivers do it in New York City. Seems like a pretty crazy fucking job, dude. Can you imagine how many fucking deliveries those guys have? But yeah, so we're helping to alleviate, I guess, like you can also wrap a wool blanket on the radiator to like chill it out to prevent some of the heat. I didn't realize this, but I've been doing some research. But what I discovered is I guess New York, right? I guess New York had this thing like way back in the day where they told all the residents to keep their windows open for like fresh air, like around the clock. So all of those buildings are built with these crazy old, like, you know, boilers that just were used to pumping heat to like compensate for open windows and shit. You know what I'm saying? And so that shit is crazy. Like a lot of the apartments, like if you Google like too hot New York apartment, like half of New York is like too hot during the winter, dude. It's crazy, right? And they are on the ground floor, actually. They're on the ground floor right in the front. So their window goes right out to the street. But their apartment has like 12-foot ceilings. It's pretty cool. You miss Sacramento? Dude, it's pretty wild, dude. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, so we're like trying to help them get settled. You know what I'm saying? The apartments give you pause. I mean, it's like New York living is a little different. Like it's the space is different. Okay. It's very, very compact. You know what I'm saying? Everything in New York City is like super compact. Like I remember way back when, you know, like 20 years ago, 15 years ago or whatever, I was back there. Okay. And a friend of mine had this amazing apartment in the East Village. He was like, it was above a retail shop. His window was like right out on the street, but his bedroom was like, he had a bed in there and a bike, and that was it. There wasn't even room for an end table. Like his bedroom was literally just a bed, a window, and his bicycle. And that was it. And then the main room had a futon and a coffee table and the kitchen. And that was the whole apartment, right? His roommate had a room with the same size. And they had a little closet with a washer and dryer in it. They did have laundry in the unit, which is pretty amazing. But that was it, dude. You are living lean, but you're outside a lot. I feel like you You know what I'm saying? Like people they don't spend a lot of time in their apartments, you know? I mean, you know, they're like out on the street, parks, coffee shops, whatever. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, so we're helping them get fucking established. You know what I mean? And yeah, eventually you get like, I think you sort of move up the ladder, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it takes you a while, I think, before the more people you meet, the more access, eventually you find a rent stabilized unit. You know, it's pretty crazy. It's pretty wild, but it's, you know, it's definitely city living. But I will say this, right? So my first apartment, okay? Let me give you a tour of how I lived, guys. You ready? So this was my thing. I went to UCLA, okay? I went to UCLA and I moved into a fraternity house. 4 of us living in one room. We built lofts. My loft, like my bed was like 6 inches from the ceiling when I was laying on my mattress. It was gnarly, but it was like 4 dudes in this tiny room in a fraternity house. It was pretty crazy. Then I moved into an apartment after I quit school in Hollywood, right behind the Laugh Factory, which was on the corner of Sunset and Laurel, right by Sunset and Crescent Heights, right in the heart of Hollywood. And me and my friend Jeff, we rented a 1-bedroom apartment that we shared. Okay, it had a living room, a 1-bedroom, a bathroom, and a kitchen. We paid $275 each. It was $550. This was in like, you know, I guess, God, what year was that? Well, it was like 1989, I think. I was 20 years old. Okay, and it was $550, $275 each. I remember I was working at the marketing department at UCLA. I made $8 an hour. I worked part-time in the marketing department. I had that apartment, and that shit was amazing, bro. I did not have a car. Okay, I did not have a car at the time. I was a bus traveler. My roommate had a truck, but I had no vehicle. I think I had a scooter still. I think I had a scooter or motorcycle. I think I had some two-wheel thing. Maybe that was my NX250. I can't remember what, but I had a 2-wheel fucking, you know, like motorcycle. I think it was my blue NX250 was I think I had a motorcycle. Well, no, actually I had the scooter. You know what it was? Because I got in my scooter wreck while I lived in that apartment. Okay. What happened was when I was like 20, I was like riding back from work or something, going to visit my mom or some shit, or going back to Hollywood. I think I was going home. I got hit by a car on my scooter and I fucking broke my collarbone. I like flew through the air, landed right in front of Chin Chin in Sunset Plaza, on Sunset and Sunset Plaza. And I remember I shattered my collarbone, and then I got a personal injury lawyer, okay? And I like sued the driver's insurance. And then I remember a couple months later, I got fired from my job in the marketing department. And I went in, the day I went in to pick up my final check, I got a check for $10,000 from the accident settlement. So I went in and was like, I don't need this job. And they hired me back anyway. And so then I had a job and 10 grand. And that's how I bought my first guitar. And that was when I was in the apartment on Sunset and Laurel. And it was super cool, man. It was the apartment was pretty rad. Although we lived next to this woman who looked just like Kim Basinger, guys. She was so beautiful, our neighbor. Oh my God, she was so beautiful, but she fucking hated us because we were so noisy and we drank a lot. And like, she kept calling the cops on us like all the time. Dude, we had such a contentious relationship with that woman. And I was kind of a dick too. I was not a good neighbor, guys. I was a terrible neighbor when I was a partier, dude. I was just so bad. And no, nothing happened between me and her because she hated us. But so then though, after that apartment, right, I lived in that 1-bedroom with my friend Jeff. Then we ended up leaving that apartment and I moved down to Redondo Beach and I lived in a room in a house with a bunch of other guys and my friend Bob, who I started my first band with. And we had this house like not too far from the beach down in Redondo. It was right across from a fucking grade school. So at night we would go out and we would fucking play basketball and shit on the courts of the fucking grade school. It was pretty awesome, dude. But that was a party house, bro. That shit was crazy. There was Bob and my friend Dean, and then this girl and her boyfriend was kind of living with us. And then I was in a room on the other side of the house, and I got the big room because my mom's boyfriend co-signed for us to get the apartment and then, or the house. And then a guy was living in the garage, too. Omar was living in the garage. And that's when I had my NX250. And then what happened was while I lived in that house, that was when I met my first long-term girlfriend. And then she and I moved in together in Hollywood. We got a one-room apartment that had a little kitchenette area. It had a kitchen and like a little area for like a dining table, a bathroom with a vanity, and then one room. And so we moved into that single in Hollywood right by the La Brea tar pits, okay? Now, the reason why I bring this up is because that apartment we lived in was like $525 a month for a single in Hollywood, okay? But the reason why I launched into this story was my son's, him and his girlfriend are living in an apartment that is actually bigger. I think it's bigger than the apartment we had in LA. It's definitely much more expensive than the LA apartment that me and my girlfriend shared in. But so we lived in that single apartment together for 3 years. And then we broke up and she moved to San Francisco. And then I stayed in that building and moved into a different unit down on the first floor. And I lived down there for like another 3 years. And so like most of my 20s were from that apartment building by the La Brea tar pits. And it was pretty awesome though. It's a great neighborhood. I've always like tried to live in like cool walkable neighborhoods, you know what I mean? That's kind of been like, cause I always had a fucking shitty car or a motorcycle. My transportation was often unpredictable. So the neighborhood, like having a walkable neighborhood was kind of important to me. But yeah, man, dude, you got to have, that way you get to know like your community a little bit, right? With 10K, what was my first guitar? Dude, my first guitar and amp were not spectacular, right? I bought just a Fender Strat, and then I bought a shitty little amp because I didn't even know how to play guitar, So it was a while before I got good gear, right? Must really miss Bryce. I do miss Bryce. I miss Bryce, but I'm also like really fucking proud of him. It's just hard. The thing that's hard, in addition to sort of missing your kid in this thing with the empty nest thing, is like I don't know day to day how he's growing or evolving, right? You know what I'm saying? Like next time I see him, he's going to be a different person than the last time I saw him. And I don't really know, you don't really know what kind of, right? You know what I mean? The day to day, you have no idea what they're going through. You just, you're interacting in like text messages and shit. And that's a little weird, right? To be around somebody for years and years and years and then not know them. And what's the housing market in Portland like? I'll be honest, guys. I don't really know what the housing market in Portland is like, other than the fact that we bought a really beat up house like 13 years ago, 12 years ago, and we gutted it and remodeled it with a bunch of money, and that like Jenny had some saved and I worked really like extra at the bar for like a year. And so we have a paid off house that has like almost tripled in value, right? Since we bought it in 2013. So I know the property values here went way, way up. And I know that apartments are like way more expensive than when I was renting. But I'll be honest, I don't know what it's like for renters here. I don't know anybody who's a renter. All the people I know are fucking homeowners, right? So yeah, I don't really know. I know it's like, seems like it's more expensive, okay? It's 3 times more expensive than what you paid in 2019. Yikes, right? Average home price of $500,000. That's crazy. So you ready for this, guys? We bought a house, okay, that if you include the basement is like almost 3,500 square feet, okay? It's 2 stories. It's 3 bedrooms. It's got an office. It's got a sunroom, right? It's big. It has like 10-foot high ceilings and light windows on every wall, like so much natural light. Dude, we paid like $230,000 for this house, a craftsman, but it was a shithole, okay? It stunk like cigarette smoke. The windows were all nailed shut. The outside, like all the siding and shit, the wood siding was falling off. There was lead paint everywhere. I mean, dude, the bathroom looked like a fucking disaster. It was so crazy. But then we gutted it. Okay, we took all the shit off the outside all the way down to the shiplap, and then we got rid of all the lath and plaster inside, and we fucking, insulated it and put in like smooth finish drywall and like raised the bedroom ceiling in the main bedroom and shit. We did a bunch of work, made the bathroom like twice as big, and moved some shit around, put a brand new kitchen in, and like just completely gutted it. We spent like 170 grand on the repairs, right? And you know what I'm saying, or 120 grand. I don't know, it's a lot. We spent a lot, dude. But now it's like it's worth, like, if you add what we put into it, it's worth double that right now. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's like, and yeah, it's pretty crazy here now. The show puppies are twitching. Let's go. Do I know Angela from Park Rose? I mean, I don't know her. I've seen her content, right? I've seen her content, but I don't know her. I mean, I don't really know anyone, dude, except my small group of friends. I'm serious. I don't ever go outside, guys. I go outside every Thursday when I go get a massage, right? And that's usually about it. I mean, I will hang out with some friends, right? Like next week, I'm going to hang out with a buddy of mine and go get some lunch. And then, I have like 2 main friendships, but we don't really even see each other that often, right? You know what I mean? Because like everybody's in relationships or they own their own businesses or what have you, right? So it's pretty hard, dude. Dude, it's pretty tough. I mean, one of my friends is in Paris right now. Him and his wife just rented a house in Paris. They rented an apartment in Paris for 2 months to just get away, dude. I'm like, oh shit, that seems like a good idea. Nothing wrong with being introverted. Yeah, I mean, it's not even that I'm introverted, guys, right? I'm not introverted in the least. I'm just too busy, You know what I'm saying? I'm just too fucking, I don't really have a life when it comes to that shit. Right? I'm not introverted. Like, dude, I could hang out with people every day. I'm just tied to this. Like, you see this space right here? Like this, I am here like all day. You know what I mean? It's like, it's fucked up. I mean, it's just building a YouTube channel. That's kind of what comes with it. I'm in PDX. Yeah. You're in Milwaukee. Let's go, Crawling. Dude, yeah, we're in the city. We're in the city. I mean, we're in a pretty urban part of the city too. It's a little scruffy, our neighborhood. I mean, it's residential. It's like, but it's scruffy residential. Dude, I like the city. I can't do the burbs. You're in Beaverton. Good for you, man. I mean, I love it. Like people who do the burbs thing. I don't do the burbs. I don't do the burbs at all, dude. I can't. Dude, I need to be like, I need urban environment, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's the great thing too is like location, right? I can get anywhere in Portland, dude, whether I'm going downtown or going, out to the boonies. I can get anywhere in like, 30 minutes, dude, 20 minutes. You like that word, shiplap? Let's go. Dude, let's go, baby. Dude, I love it. You need your amenities? Dude, yeah, I need the energy of the fucking people, bro. Of the fucking people. You say Milwaukee's easy? My son used to live in Milwaukee. That's where his mom lived. Dude, that was a shitty drive every day, dude. Right? Like, driving him to school. He went to school down there. Like, it's fucking brutal. So deep in the woods. Oh, shit. Dude, let's go. All right. So what'll get to know us? Get to know us? Dude, 𝗙cie𝗶𝗏. All right. Let's go. See, for me, guys, I have two modes, okay? I operate in two modes. I can do the city and I can do the beach, okay? I fucking like the beach. Dude, I excel on the beach and the city. But I can visit like, the woods, but I would never want to live in the woods, right? And I can't really do the suburbs at all. Right. Live just out of Brooklyn. All right. Nice. Where just out of Brooklyn are you, Raven? Like, are you like out the Brownsville? Like out past Brownsville or what? Where you're in North Portland? Let's go. Dude, I do hope to Howard Beach. All right. Let's go. Dude, I hope to live in New York City. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever have the money to live in New York City, but I would like to get an apartment in the East Village and I think that would be amazing, right? If I had money, right? If I had like real money, if I ever come into like real money, I will have an apartment in the East Village and then we'll get Jenny a house in Denver, right? And then, we'll split time between those two locations, right? That's how I'd like to do it, right? She likes the burbs. Jenny, she likes the suburbs, the Denver suburbs. That's where she wants to post up. And I'm like, really? Santa Cruz is nice. Dude, I used to know a fucking girl from Santa Cruz. She was pretty amazing. The Capitola. Let's go, dude. Capitola Theater, right? Isn't that Santa Cruz? And set my goals higher. Dude, set my goals higher than what? A house in Colorado and New York City apartment? Dude, those are pretty big goals, bro. That's a lot of like, I don't know if I could set them any higher than that. Oh, were you being sarcastic? Right? Let's go. Oh, shit, dude. Dude, Denver, Colorado. I do like Denver, right? I do like Denver, but I don't know if I'm going to have the money to do that. I mean, I've been looking, guys, at New York, and you can find some, like you can find some really small apartments. You know what I'm saying? Right? And you can find some small apartments for like 500 grand. In the East Village. There are some steals available, right? You know what I mean? There's definitely, or you just wait until there's a property crash and you buy after the crash. Dude, what I didn't realize though, guys, I didn't realize how crazy the prices are. Like, for example, okay, so I was looking at some of these buildings, these condos where you buy a fucking, a condo for like, whatever, $2.5 million or $4 million for a really nice one with like a patio and a view and shit. But then there's like a $10,000 a month payment on top of that, on top of your mortgage. If you buy a $2 million New York apartment, you pay like $3,000 a month to the condo building, and then you pay another $3,000 a month for taxes, right? So you have a mortgage for your apartment, for your condo, and you pay like $5,000 to $10,000 a month depending on the value of the apartment, right? So it is insane, dude. I don't know how anybody fucking lives there, bro. That's fucking nuts, right? Dude, that shit is crazy. Now, co-ops are cheaper, okay? Co-ops are cheaper, but then you have to like get approved. They're like a lot harder to buy because with the co-op, you don't really own your apartment. I mean, you do, but you own shares in the corporation that owns the building. So the co-ops are cheaper for sure. You know what I'm saying? The co-ops are, it's a little more like a little more complicated, I think, getting into a co-op. I think it can be, right? You have to get approved and all that shit. But yeah, so let me just say this. From where I'm sitting right now, though, dude, from where I'm sitting right now, this shit ain't ever happening, right? Because I don't think I'm ever coming into that kind of money, okay? Dude, but we'll see. Dare to dream, boss. Dare to dream, right? You never know. You never know what could happen, right? I could make a couple mil. You never know. Dude, it's fucking wild. Dude, let's go, baby. Wouldn't like it anymore if I did. Wait, wouldn't like what anymore? Wouldn't like New York anymore, right? You bought the interest rates were only 2.5. Let's go, dude. Dude, the Village? Dude, no, dude, I like the Village. I mean, it's been a little while since I've been there, but I mean, I was last there like 15 years ago. I fucking loved it, right? You know, it's the history there, right? I mean, it's definitely, it's like, I don't know, like snazzier now. Like all of Manhattan is getting pretty snazzy, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the buildings are brand new. They're all glass and shit. Dude, 50-year mortgage, baby. Let's go, dude. Dude. So my God, bro, right? Dude, let's go. Dude, let's go, baby. Dude, Sam, we're going to do it, man. We're going to do it. We're going to build it. Dude, I am, can I just tell you? Do you guys believe in manifesting? Right? Like, so dude, so what happened was, you ready for this? You ready for this? Let me just share a manifesting journey with you guys. So in 2016, okay, I quit my bartending job to start a film career. All right. And what ended up happening was I wrote a check to myself. Okay. I wrote a check to myself for $250,000 and I dated it 5 years from the, right? I dated it for my birthday in 2021. Okay. This is a true story. And I put it on my fucking vision board back there. And then for 3 years, I tried to make it as a filmmaker and I failed. I like made some great films and shit, but it never got any traction. I never really made any money. I made a little bit of money directing some commercials and shit. But for the most part, I just racked up a whole bunch of debt. In 2019, I started streaming Fortnite. And then the pandemic happened. And by my birthday on 2021, I could cash that fucking check, guys. I could have cashed that check. Isn't that crazy? Like, I literally made just about that amount of money in about a year and a half of streaming Fortnite. And I was like, what the fuck, bro? And it just sat there. I never even thought about it. It literally just sat back there. So you may see, I have another check on that vision board, dude. I have another one up there, bro. Dude, you can see it. You can't see how much it is, but you see it. It's right there, bro. I have another one. This one's like kind of unrealistic, but we'll see what happens. But dude, it's like sometimes I guess that shit works, bro. It's funny. I like the vision board stuff. I do. I mean, I've never been a very good capitalist, though. You know what I'm saying? I've never been a very good capitalist. I don't make fucking, capitalism-based decisions, really. Right? Write another check, have it at 10 million. Oh shit. Dude, yeah, no, I'm not gonna say how much the amount is for, but I did put another one up there. Let me see what date it is on it. All right, let me see. Dude, the date on it is 2027. So yeah, I think that one's unrealistic. That one's gonna sit there a few days, definitely a few years after the due date, bro. Because I dated it for 2027, and I definitely don't see that happening. Oh shit, let's go, dude. I like that shit though, dude. Could 3D print a house, dude? I know, dude. The 50-year mortgage is such bullshit. Can I just tell you though? Have you noticed like Trump just sticking his feet in his mouth all over the place? Like, what is up with this guy? Like the H-1B visas, bro? You know what I mean? Like, he basically says Americans aren't talented. We have no talent. We have nobody here that can do a fucking good job and shit. I mean, he's pretty honest about how he really feels. Like all of his supporters, he wants them fucking building houses and picking fruit and being busboys and fucking shit, right? That's what he wants. He wants all the MAGA people to work in the robot factories, drive Amazon trucks, do coal mining, and fucking build houses, right? And it's like, bro, how do those people vote for him, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do they vote for him when that's all he believes they're capable of, dude? Dude, he's a fucking clown, bro. Dude, the H-1B, like, let's look at this shit, dude. Dude. Right? You ready? Look at this shit, dude.
Never going to be a country like what we.
Ready?
There's never going to be a country like what we have right now.
And does that
the
mean
Republicans have to talk about it, Laura.
And does that mean the H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration? Because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with.
Oops. Sorry.
With tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands.
I agree. There's never going to be a country like what we have right now.
And does that
the
mean
Republicans have to talk about it, Laura.
And does that mean the H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration? Because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent. When
we
a
have
country
plenty of talented people
no, you
here.
don't. No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here.
No, you don't have. You don't have certain talents, and you have to people.
Dude, no, you don't. No, you don't. You see how dismissive he is? He's like, you don't have any fucking talent here in America. Like, what a fucking douchebag, bro. Right?
Have to learn. You can't take people off an unemployment line and say, I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles, or I'm going to put
How did we ever do it before?
Well, let me
when you and I were
I'll give you an example. In Georgia, they raided because they wanted illegal immigrants out. They had people from South Korea that made batteries all their lives. You know, making batteries are very complicated. It's not an easy thing. It's very dangerous. A lot of explosions, a lot of problems. They had like 500 or 600 people, early stages, to make batteries and to teach people how to do it. Well, they wanted them to get out of the country. You're going to need that, Laura. I mean, I know you and I disagree on this. You can't just say a country's coming in, going to invest $10 billion to build a plant, and going to take people off an unemployment line who haven't worked in 5 years.
Right.
And
see, here's the thing, though. What's crazy, right, is like, that's the same shit that the Hispanic dudes from South America do. That's what they do with concrete, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, they're artisans. The guys who do concrete, who do drywall, who do framing, that come here from South America, that work construction, they're amazing. They're so fucking skilled. But he's like, no, we're gonna remove all those guys because we can train the MAGA fucking shitheads to do their job, right? But we can't train MAGA shitheads to make batteries? Like, really? Are MAGA that fucking stupid? That fucking useless that they can't learn how to make a goddamn battery? Like, dude, what are we talking about? You know what it is though, guys? What it is? Guys, it's racism, okay? It is racism. Modern American racism, okay? Back in the 40s, the racism was like white only, but now like Asian people are considered like white passing to these races, okay? They have this whole idea that Asian people are smarter and more dedicated and harder working than the Americans, right? It's the type of racism that I grew up in, okay? It's exactly that, okay? You know what I'm saying? And that is from fucking these guys' things, dude. Oh, dude, they're absolutely like targeting people that are, not criminals. You know what I mean?
And they're going to start making missiles. It doesn't work that way.
Dude, what a fucking clown, bro. Dude, so weird, boss. Dude, H1B.
There's never...
Dude, that's crazy, though, the way he says that.
Country like what we have right now. To talk about it,
and does that mean the H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration? Because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent. When
we have plenty of talented people here.
No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here?
No, you don't. No, you don't. Dude. Isn't that crazy? Like, fucking A, dude. Dude, he's like, no, you don't. No, you don't. So dismissive, bro. It's like no talent. Dude, this guy is so smarmy, boss. It's like, it is sort of redonkulous how fucking smarmy like Donnie Trump is, boss. Like, unfucking believable, dude. Sorry, I need to fucking... Oops. That was not it. There we go. All right. No shame in working any job. There really isn't. You know what I'm saying? There really isn't any shame in working any job. But the thing about this is it's simply a matter of industrialization, guys. Okay? If you look at societies, okay? Societies follow a path. Okay? Societies follow a path where what happens is first you're like agrarian, okay? You know what I'm saying? You're a farming community, right? You start off as farming. You're working the land. You're maybe, eventually you start farming things that is like you're doing products like food and tobacco. Then eventually you find something like cotton. You find something useful in the industrial realm. And then you go into your industrial revolution. That is the factories, the assembly lines, where you're now processing your own resources. You start off farming, you start off shipping your resources, then eventually you industrialize. And then you're working in factories and you're generating products with your own resources. Then as you advance beyond that, you start doing tech, okay? And then as tech comes in, you start shipping out the industrial sort of factory work to other countries that have been agrarian. And now they're having their industrial revolution, right? And so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? It's like that is the way that we have sort of advanced. And it's not one or the other, but like China right now is going through what America went through, 100 years ago. Okay. And then what's interesting is at some point, I would suspect that we'll have some of these really, you know, tiny off the chart. Like I would imagine that at some point Africa maybe heavily industrializes at some point too. And you know what I'm saying? It'll be interesting to see. I mean, it's hard because Africa got so decimated by imperialism. We like keep taking all their resources and not allowing them to experience the deep industrial revolution. You know what I'm saying? But you know, like I believe there is a process that tech is going to fucking, you know, like what happens is it's not like jobs are bad, right? But you ready what it is, guys? It's this. It's like once you got a factory job, okay, you didn't want to go back to like tilling a field, okay? And once you got an office job, you don't want to go back to a factory job, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like once you bump up like technologically and your job is less backbreaking and shit, you don't want to go back to the other fucking realm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's with everything, right? Like once I became a server, a restaurant server, I didn't want to go back and be a busboy. I started as a busboy. But once I got that server job, I was like, dude, there's no way I'm going back to being a busboy. Because now my server job is like more money, less backbreaking, and there's just perks to it, you know? And then, you know what I'm saying? It's like, and when I became a bartender, I was like, dude, I'm never going back to being a waiter. You know what I mean? Like, because now I'm making even more money, I'm running a lot less, and I have way more power than I had as a server, right? And so that happens, I believe, as a nation. Like the problem isn't that there's anything wrong with working fucking concrete or building homes, but a lot of young people now, they don't want to work concrete and build homes. They want to be TikTokers. They want to fucking have YouTube channels. They want to work in tech jobs or some shit. They don't want to go and fucking, you know, do drywall. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Is like, it's not like there's something wrong with doing drywall. They want a life of leisure and luxury. Yes. You know, dude, concrete is a skill, bro. It is. I mean, everything's a skill, guys. Every job is a skill, guys. You don't have to be skilled to have a job. But dude, you can tell the skilled people more than you can tell the not skilled. Dude, I worked construction for a while. You know what I'm saying? I worked construction for, I don't know, about a year, dude. It was fucking brutal, bro. Oh my God, dude. It was fucking brutal, you know? And the other thing that I'd like to point out is with young people, like, let me use my son for example, okay? So my son has grown up with iPhones and Fortnite and, you know, advanced video games. My son, okay, is a multitasker. My son can take in 20 different streams of information at once and categorize them and process them and pay attention to all of them. His brain is so fast and so nimble and so fucking like high functioning that there's no way he should be doing drywall, dude. You know what I'm saying? His fucking brain, like he shouldn't be fucking doing drywall. Like his brain, like kids' brains right now are so advanced beyond like doing some individual repetitive task. Like shit, bro. You know, we should be having the robots do fucking drywall, boss. You know? Like, dude, it's fucking redonkulous. You know, that like you don't want to, like their mental capacity is so much higher. You know what I mean? It's so much fucking crazier, boss. Right? The boomer system, we don't optimize people. I mean, dude, in America though, guys, in America, we don't optimize at all. We never have, guys. Okay? We never have, right? we never optimize. In America, you got to remember the school system was designed by the guy who made the assembly line, guys. Like our educational system was designed to make people punctual, obedient, and easily managed. So you would get out, get a job, become part of the social order, shut up, and do what you're told and be thankful for it. Okay? We created people to be exploited by people that had wealth and connections, and we're going to make all the fucking funds. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's like, you know, and I mean, dude, the thing though that really got me, guys, okay, the thing that kind of broke me open was the pandemic. Okay, the pandemic is when my eyes started like going crazy, because I don't know about you guys, but like it was during the pandemic when I started noticing that a lot of our society right now in America is white people spending money in places where people of color are fucking doing the work. You know, I don't know if you've noticed that, but next time you walk through an airport or go to a fucking restaurant, look and see the division. There's like a dividing line where the white people are and where the people of color are. And it's like a lot of our society is white people being served by fucking people of color, bro. And it's like, what the fuck is that, bro? It's like in the pandemic, it became eerily apparent to me. And I didn't like that, dude. I felt like that's fucked up, bro. That's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Dude, I don't know. I mean, I just think, you know, and I don't know how we're going to work with this shit, but I don't think people should have to work, guys. I don't think people should have to work. Okay? I think people should be creating art and they should be fucking exploring, you know, like philosophically and intellectually and participating in fucking entertainment and shit. And and then essential jobs could be paid like extraordinary amounts, right? You take the jobs that you need, right? If you need garbage men, make that job fucking pay handsomely, and then people will do the job. You don't fucking just make it so certain classes of people have to be garbage men because that's the only fucking job they can get. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's stupid. Like, working is dumb, okay? Working is dumb. And here's the thing too, guys. This is the big brain fucking freezer is when you look at the people high up in upper management, right? You look at like sports team owners and CEOs and shit. Those motherfuckers don't work, guys. They do not work. They take some meetings. They take some phone calls. They do like political appearances and shit, but they don't fucking work, man. They're in a position where everybody around them is doing the work, and all they are doing is like arranging and sculpting. You know what I'm saying? They don't fucking work. They take long lunches. They fucking get day drinks, right? They fucking are having sex on their desk and shit. Dude, they are not working at all, bro. They are fucking, overcome racism your ass. Dude, we got a long way to go to overcome racism, man. You know what I'm saying? Dude, I just, I had a friend who owned a couple McDonald's, and this guy didn't fucking work at all, bro. All he did was drive from McDonald's to McDonald's like for half a day, resenting everybody who worked for him. And then he would fucking go and fucking chill, dude, and have like a 3-hour lunch. That was his day, bro. Right? I mean, he was like, dude, all he did was go and resent everybody, and then he fucking went to the track. That was his life, bro. You know? Dude, UBI should definitely be a thing. right? Dude, UBI should definitely be a thing. Dude, 50-year mortgages? Bullshit. All right, dude, we got to do some politics, boss, right? You know what I'm saying? We got to do some politics. I mean, it's hard though, right? It is hard because there is a system, guys. Okay, like for example, I went to UCLA and I had the opportunity to join a certain part of the system where I could have been a lawyer or a doctor or an engineer or whatever, one of those degreed sort of people like all of my college friends. And I chose not to go that route. I was the artist, I did rock and roll, I did theater, I did all that shit. Now, because I didn't go the degree sort of upper management route, and then when I went into a restaurant, I didn't want to be a manager. I just wanted to be a server that had a good station and was able to get a lot of money. Or eventually I became a bartender where I could just I wanted to make the most amount of money with as few taxes as possible and the least amount of time. So that was my working thing because I was a creator, right? So eventually I was working a bartending job at a really popular bar where I worked 20 hours a week and I made like $1,000 a week, most of it being tax-free. And it was easy. 20 hours a week, dude, 3 shifts. That was it. 4 days off, 3 shifts, $1,000 a week. Okay. And then like not a tax burden, right? That was how I rolled. But there's like no healthcare. There's no advancement. You're stuck there, right? Like as a bartender, I was never going to make more than like $1,000 or $1,500 a week. That's it. Even if you're in a top spot, right? Even if you go to a crazy busy disco club, you're not going to get more than 4 shifts because it would just grind you up. So there's like a roof on your income capacity. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, now what I like about YouTube is YouTube is hard. Like you go a long time before you make any money and there's no guarantee. Maybe you don't make shit or maybe your shit all falls apart. But there is there's no roof on YouTube, right? There isn't. There's no roof. You could ostensibly keep growing and growing and growing, and there's never a roof where you can no longer increase your thing. And so I do like things that have that exponential growth ability, right? There is a certain freedom there, you know, but it's also very unpredictable though, because yes, you can fall out of favor like that. All it takes is one canceling or your shit goes wrong and then it's all gone. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And you know, you've always been a worker and took pride in it. Dude, if you like being a worker, dude, that's amazing, boss. See, I didn't like being a worker. I resented being a worker because, you know what I mean? I did. I resented being a worker always. Even when I had a good job, I resented because the owners would come in and those guys were the ones living the life, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like for me, I just never liked working for other people. I like doing my own thing, you know, very much so, right? I was a one-man band, so I guess that's no surprise, right? You know, you went into nursing and loved it. That's amazing. See, that's just it. If you like what you do, you should just keep doing it. You know, for me, I just always resented having a boss, right? It doesn't matter who the boss is, doesn't matter right? You know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter who the boss is, doesn't matter even if he fucking loves me and has given me everything I want, I still fucking hate having a boss, right? Dude, I do, man. That shit burns me up inside. You know? Dude, nursing is a really good profession. A lot of my ex-girlfriends were nurses. Dude, they make some good money too. And a lot of them get to set their own schedules and shit. You know? I mean, guys, it's not even like even when I was an editor, right? Like I can edit my shit tirelessly. Building my YouTube channel or making a movie, dude, I edit, I do that work. But when I was an editor getting paid by other people, I resented the fucking work, dude. I don't know what it is. Like for me, it's like I'll take less money and my own boss than more money and having a boss, right? If I had to choose between those two, like you're going to make 30% less money, 50% less money, but you have no boss, I'm taking that. I'm taking that route, dude. I just can't have a boss, dude. I can't do it. I can't fucking do it, bro. Dude, it's just too hard. I can't, I get resentful, dude. You know what I mean? I don't know. A lot of people I know don't fucking do that shit. You know what I'm saying? They don't, right? A lot of people I know don't have an issue with that. They can work a job if their boss is like somebody they can deal with and they're totally cool with it. Or they like their boss. They like working with them. But for me, dude, yeah, it's probably the dad. It's probably the domineering dad, right? The authoritarian father ruined it for me. All right, you ready, dude? Let's watch some Kasparian, dude. Because she is off her fucking meds, bro. All right? We got to get in. We got to do some politics, boss. We just fucking killed an hour of story time. Capitalism can help others. You're paying people what they're worth. See, I mean, the problem with capitalism, for me, is just what I have learned, guys, is this. Is you can't replace equity, okay? You can't replace equity, okay? Equity, remember what I was talking about yesterday when I said never give your CDs away? If you're a musician, you learn to never give your CD away. Because if somebody's not invested in it, right, they won't listen to it. Okay, them spending $10 means they now have equity in your CD. So now they're going to listen to it because they're invested in it. And so the problem with capitalism is people work, okay? And people work and people are earning a wage. They're trading their work for money. But when you have equity, right? When you have equity in your work, you work differently. Okay? When you are receiving the proceeds of your work and not simply what somebody's giving you for your work, when you have some equity, some ownership in the product or the fucking thing, it creates a different feeling that supersedes money, guys, and it's irreplaceable. This is why actors can go and act in movies for no money or theater for no money, and they're enriched by it because they're getting equity in that theater production. They go out on that stage, they invest themselves in it, and they get the energy and the experience of being in the production, and they grow and they have this artistic experience with the audience, but they're having it. They don't even need money because that equity in the work is like more substantial. It's more valuable to our souls than the money is, okay? And that is one of the problems with all of capitalism is most of the jobs don't offer the worker any equity of any kind, okay? They're not included in the decision making. They're not included in the profit structure. They're not included in the ownership of the experience whatsoever. They are literally just replaceable knobs that are turned by people who actually have equity in the business. And that's the thing that we have to confront about our financial working system is if you can't find a way to have workers have some type of equity, they're never going to do a really, truly great job because and they're never going to feel fully fulfilled. You know, they're just not. Like the real fulfillment is from the equity in the experience and has nothing to do with the money. Okay. It has nothing to do with the money, man. You know? And that's one of the things that I don't think we've ever bothered trying to solve, you know? is like we never look at that. Like how can workers have equity in the jobs they perform, right? You know? So, I don't know, man. You know, all right, you ready? Let's get in here, boss. Dude, we got some shit here. I want to fucking see. We're probably going to have to drop some shit off, but dude, Anna Kasparian is fucking on some fucking podcast or some shit.
All right, Gavin Newsom.
Dude, look at this. Dude, look at this. Look at the title of this. Okay, it says Tangle News and the Young Turks. So this is some collab feature. And why Anna Kasparian is risking everything to tell the truth, guys. Oh my God. Dude, yeah, no, we're going to talk about Melania too, right? Dude, what are we even doing here? Like Anna Kasparian thinks she's got the solutions here. You know what I'm saying? Dude, yeah. No, 𝗙cie, you're not wrong, right? Notice how Cenk is in there? Dude, yeah, what is great value Benny Johnson? Oh my God, that is what this guy is. What is Tangle News? I've never heard of Tangle News. All right, Tangle News. Dude, that's a weird name, right? Tangle News. Dude, she does though. She thinks she's like so sage, right? She thinks she's so sage. 𝗙𝗍𝗍. Dude, they be tangling. Dude, yeah. So, I mean, obviously Anna has fallen from grace a great deal. Okay, she's fallen from grace tremendously. But what's wild about Anna that I don't get, guys, is I'm just trying to figure out what she is now, right? You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to figure out what she is, okay? She used to be someone who was like an aggressive debater, fighter, progressive, fucking risk taker, you know, in your face, okay? And now she is like all over the place. Like she doesn't seem to have a center. Have you noticed? Like there is no moral center to her anymore. I mean, she'll be like Law and Order one day and like I'm being oppressed the next, right? She's like, you know, defending certain parts of the LGBTQ community and throwing others under the bus. The only thing I notice right now that's consistent is she is vehemently like on the Israel fucking like thing where I can't really tell sometimes if it's the whole country or if it's the government. Like she is just vehemently like anti, you know, Israel, Netanyahu, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it's weird though, because she's different. Like I've said, I use 𝗙cie𝗶𝗶 as an example, right? Like 𝗙cie𝗶𝗶 is very anti-Zionist government and imperialism, but she's also very clearly supportive of like everybody else, okay? It's like you never look at 𝗙cie𝗶𝗶 and think she's going to pull out a George Soros trope, okay? But like Anna Kasparian is like using the George Soros tropes while simultaneously pretending she's like 𝗙cie𝗶𝗶. But like Anna Kasparian feels a lot more like Tucker Carlson, you know, or Nick Fuentes than she feels like 𝗙cie𝗶𝗶, okay? And that's the slide to me that has been really weird with Anna is like Anna has definitely feels like she's like hanging out with groypers, okay? And I don't know if it's her husband's influence because her husband is a baseball player, right? And I mean, baseball players, guys, are extraordinarily like religious and racist and fucking, you know, they are like very, very Jesus-y, MAGA-y like baseball world is. If you know what I mean? I mean, dude, it like the racism and the sort of like xenophobia in the baseball world is it's pretty thick. Okay. A lot of devout religious shit, a lot of devout Catholicism and Christianity that comes with that other stuff. You know what I mean? But like, so I don't know if she's like, right? I don't know if she has changed a lot because of her partner. But man, dude. Dude, I know we're not beholden to corporate overlords. Here's an ad from our corporate sponsor. All right, dude, I'm going to fucking set a let's try a dance party goal. Let's get it going, baby. Dude, I can't believe we just talked for an hour about life. All right, let's see if we can get a dance party. There it is. Let's go. Dude, so yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. Her center feels like it's gone, dude. Doesn't it? That's the thing I notice about Anna is her center feels like it's gone. And the other thing I feel about Anna is I feel like her and 𝗙𝗪𝗓 have stayed together because they ride this sort of wave of believing that they're the only people that are right. Okay? I mean, have you noticed that? That like her and 𝗙𝗪𝗓, this seems to be part of their new philosophy, is her and 𝗙 are like, we're the ones that are correct and have integrity, and we don't pick a side, and we can see all sides. Snow puppies, let's go. Sam kicking us off. Let's go, baby. Right? There's like a narcissism, right? There is like a narcissism that they use of like, you know, a narcissism of like judgment that seems to like fuel their shit. But dude, Anthony, let's go. But other than that, I don't see anything cohesive about her politics now. It seems like she doesn't like doing politics, like she's resentful of everybody who's successful, and like she, you know, the blowback she gets from being a political figure, it feels like personally threatening to her. She always feels like, right? I mean, if you're a political person, you put your viewpoints out there, and then a whole bunch of people, like, you can't please anybody. Everybody's always mad at you for something. You know what I'm saying? But you can't take that shit personally. I feel like she takes everything personally, right? She does. Anna and 𝗙's only goal is to mute the Democratic vote. I mean, Les, you're not wrong. That's true. They do feel like they are ops trying to like make the fucking Democrats, you know, suffer, right? But all right, you ready? Let's see why Anna Kasparian is risking everything to tell the truth, guys. You ready? Here we go. This should be illuminating. I'm going to say right now off the top of my fucking thing, I don't know how long we're going to last with this, guys. I may not stick around. I'm certainly probably not going to watch all 30 minutes of this, and we may jump around, but I don't think I'm going to be in it for the long haul, okay? You know what I'm saying?
All right, Gavin Newsom, 2028. I mean, like, how do you think he'll be received by the Democratic Party?
Oh, they'll love him. The Democratic Party will love him.
The base, maybe the voters.
Yeah, the base. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Because...
And you'll be thinking...
Dude,
that
Gavin!
I want to slip my wrist. That's what I'll be thinking.
Dude, Gavin. Dude, she wants Gavin so bad. Dude, she wants him so bad. Dude, you know she does, dude.
Producer of the Young Turks Today, and she's an influential perspective from... And I think she does. All right, I'd like to start with a little bit of your story. I mean, you obviously have a really popular voice, especially sort of in this like populist left space, which I want to talk to you a little bit about. But I'm curious just like how you got here. What's your background in terms of how you ended up hosting Young Turks? And
dude, can I answer that question? How she got here is she found her way to Young Turks and became the queen of the roost, the outspoken debater and feisty person. And then all of a sudden she got mad at homeless people and trans people, and some people in her caucus said, whoa, you should probably check yourself, Anna. And ever since then, she's been unraveling at fucking light speed, bro. Right? She's been rolling down the hill of like heading toward the red pill faster than I've ever seen anyone, dude. I saw somebody say horseshoe theory. Dude, that is it, dude. Extra backup snow puppies. Let's go. Thank you, Sam. Dude, she like, I just remember her sort of railing at religious people, and now she's like, be nice to MAGA, dude. I've never seen somebody pick up steam like that, where they fell from grace so far, you know?
And having this kind of big YouTube media empire.
Well, I realized pretty early on in my life that I loved news media. I was inspired by Barbara Walters when she had her heyday on ABC's 2020. And I remember one of the interviews she had was with one of like Saddam Hussein's wives. And I just thought it was such an amazing way of earning a living, right? Talking to all sorts of people from all around the world. And
dude, yet he called it a media empire. Dude, TYT is basically broke. Dude, there's no way. Did she go to 𝗙cie? Dude, did she really go to Cal State Northridge? Oh, shit, bro. Yikes. Dude, that's barely a college, boss. No offense if you went to 𝗙cie, but dude, it's a state school, party school, right? Dude, I used to fucking party at 𝗙cie a lot.
Hearing their stories. And I had the kind of parents that like pressured me to figure out what I wanted to do in life very early on. So by like middle school, I knew I wanted to do journalism.
Wow.
And I went to journalism school at Cal State Northridge. Loved my experience there, graduated early. I went to like a community college at the same time I went to high school, so I graduated college 2 years early.
Dude, she is perfect for PBD though, right? I mean, think about it. Think about the Her Take podcast. You got Anna, you got Amy Dangerfield, you got Lindy Lee. It's just totally like the state school girls, right? You know what I mean? 𝗙cie, San Diego State, right? Chico State. That's what it is, dude. It's the state school fucking journalism girls, bro.
And then I entered the job market, and the first media job I had was at CBS Radio at a station called KNX 1070, and I hated it. I hated it so much. When I graduated, the news writers had just gone on strike. And so the newsroom was really strange due to that dynamic. But outside of that, just watching what they did day in and day out, I realized like the highest position I can have here is an anchor. You literally just kind of come on air, regurgitate what someone else has written for you. There's no critical thinking. There's no real deep interviews happening here. And so I was kind of in a crisis because I thought I made a major mistake in my decision. And so I did what everyone was doing at the time. I applied to graduate school. I loved politics, so I decided to get a poli-sci degree.
Dude, you know what's funny is listen to me here, okay? And dude, I know I'm bagging on Anna and all of her life decisions, but look at what she said about how she's like at CBS and she's saying there's no serious interviews here. But then she went to TYT and they were doing the camel toe shit, right? That's how they started at TYT. It was like Inside Edition, doing celebrity camel toes and stuff. And like, so, I mean, hearing her talk about, oh, CBS, all I could do was be an anchor. So I decided to go and fucking judge celebrity camel toes with fucking this dude from South Beach, Miami, who couldn't get laid, right? You know what I mean? And like, it's not really adding up, dude. Like, I think she really wanted to be one of those anchors. But it's really hard, though, to be one of those anchors if you're going to 𝗙cie. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. It's hard to get that job. The people that get those jobs are usually the people with the wealthy families and connections, or you have to go to like an Ivy League school and shit, and you got to be a beat reporter at some unknown fucking station for years. working your way up in West Virginia or fucking Little Rock, Arkansas or something. You got to work for years and years and years. And then eventually you get to the anchor spot. You know what I'm saying? You don't just slide in there. You know, it's like you have to go work on the fucking, like in the grimy shit for a long fucking time, man, you know?
And then in the meantime, I got approached by a colleague of mine who was like, hey, do you want some temporary work? It's only going to be 2 weeks, but I know you're going to go to Europe and you need some extra cash. So you want to do it? And I was like, okay, sure. What's the name of the show? What is this? She said The Young Turks. And as an Armenian, I immediately like panicked. I'm like, there's a show called The Young Turks? How could they do? Then I figured out what the name of the show was really about. And at that point, I was just very curious about it. And yes, I was very young. I was 20 years old and I could definitely use the cash. So I just decided to, ask some questions. The main producer at the time called me for an interview. And the interview was literally just, can you come in at 3 a.m? And I said yes. So I show up at 3 a.m. and I ended up falling in love with the place because it was so different from anything else I had experienced.
Dude, it was celebrity camel toes. Dude, gig, let's go, Tex. Dance party. All right, guys. Dude, let's go. We're checking in 34 minutes. We got 6 out of 20. Let's get it. Dude, all right, should we jump ahead? Do we want to hear this? Should we jump ahead and see her saving the world? Right? Dude, what did she do at 3 a.m? You don't want to know. No, that's if like morning show, right? If people do the morning show, they go in at 3 a.m, right? To get ready for the morning show, right? Dude, it's pretty boring, this whole shit, but all right, we'll watch a little more.
It was very heavy on the commentary, which I was told in journalism school, run away as far as possible. You are not supposed to share your opinion. You have to earn your ability to do that, right?
Oh, yeah. See? You see that? There it is. Did you see that? That's exactly what I said. You have to earn, okay, to be the commentary, to be the Barbara Walters, to be the fucking, the Walter Cronkite or whatever. You had to earn that shit in the big MSM thing. You have to play the game. You have to do the politics. You have to put in the time and fucking, navigate the system. But like, dude, she went to 𝗙_𝗏 and she wants to be the host of the show, right? And like, that's just it. Like, that's where TYT, sure, you can go in there and you're instantly a host, fresh out of journalism school, right? But I don't know, dude. Here's the thing though, you ready? This is the thing I can't get over about Anna. Okay, and I don't know if you see this, but I see this and I don't think I'm wrong. But it still seems like she's resentful, okay? It seems like she wants to be like Caitlin Collins or Diane Sawyer or Barbara Walters. Like she actually wanted that, okay? She wanted to be, Margie Brennan, but she like never was willing to run the gauntlet of what it would take to make that happen. So she's like angry about it. She's like, makes it as though she chose TYT because she didn't want the other thing, but TYT was like the fallback. Like she didn't want to go through what she would need to go through to get that other thing. Like I don't even know if she really tried it. She just sort of slid into TYT, but I feel like she really wants to be hosting Face the Nation or have a show on CNN like Abby Phillip, right? Same with Cenk Uygur, dude. They wanted to be the big mainstream media fucking faces, but they just didn't. You weren't willing to fucking do it. The minute they got passed over, they were so butthurt that they're like, I'm quitting. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because that's just it. If you go into that mainstream shit, guys, it is a slugfest, okay? You get in there and you do it for fucking 15 years and you have to shuck and jive and glad hand people and fucking fight tooth and nail to try and move up. You have to make alliances with corporate America, people above you. Like, it's a dirty world moving up in the corporate media world. All the corporate worlds are like that. there's a lot of politicking and a lot of power wrangling that you get passed over, and you have to just put up with it and put up with it until you get your shot. And then you get in there and you have to run with it. You know, the minute you get your shot, like it's dirty work. Okay. It's dirty, dirty work that can take decades, you know what I mean? But it's weird though, because like, I still feel like that's the thing her and Cenk both wanted. Like they actually wanted that other life, but they didn't want to do the politicking that it would take to get it. You know what I'm saying? She wants that power. She does, right? They want the power, but they don't want to go through the fucking gauntlet, because you have to run a gauntlet. You know, you do. You're right. Yeah, no, what fucking Les is saying is that there's so much competition for those spots that it is like making the Olympics team, right? And Anna is a little bit like Riley Gaines, right? Anna gets 5th place, 85th in the Olympics, but she still wants to be on the podium, right? You know what I mean? But dude.
And so, but I was just so amazed by the honesty and how raw, Cenk Uygur, the founder of the company and also the main host.
Yeah, the camel toes. She's like, we got to talk about camel
how raw
toes.
His commentary was and how honest it was. And that's what marketing did.
We're going to skip ahead.
I think it is. In my, from where I'm sitting, I feel like you're speaking kind of this populist left.
Oh, here we go.
Executive producer of the show. I chipped away at Cenk and I got my way. And now I'm the executive producer of the show.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, she's the executive producer of a show that, doesn't have much of an audience left. Dude, who is this guy? Somebody said this guy is like Timu Benny Johnson or some shit. Dude, oh, isn't that funny? Oh, shit. This guy, he does have a little Benny Johnson in him.
I mean, it's incredible what you guys have built. I'm curious if you could, describe to me what you imagine when you think about your audience. Who do you think it is?
Dude, she's like, our audience is 50 people. Dude.
From where I'm sitting, I feel like you're speaking kind of this populist left online, but I don't know if that's totally accurate or not.
I don't know if that's totally accurate. I think that I've personally gone through some serious changes in my political identity in recent years. I would say it began in 2022, and I'm still continuing to evolve because I realized that a lot of my deeply held political beliefs were flawed, right? I wasn't thinking about things in a more nuanced and quite honestly, fair way. And so I started speaking against some of the, extremities on the left that some did not appreciate. And so the audience has been changing as a result of that.
Dude, did you see how carefully she fucking said that right there? She was like, so I, had a revelation. I got really resentful of this guy named Hassan, and I watched him just fucking skyrocket while I was watching a dwindling audience and having to wake up every day saying, welcome to Polymarket Studios, right? Dude, oh shit. Bro, that's funny. Dude, it's all about the homeless guy and the bonus hole, right? That's really what it is. He could just say, so how did you evolve? And she could say, homeless guy, bonus hole. And he'd be like, all right, next question. Why don't you guys have any audience left? Homeless guy, bonus hole. Dude, who do you resent more than anything? She'd be like, Emma Vigeland and bonus hole. Dude, all right, thank you for that extremely informative interview. In closing, Anna, would you mind saying hi? Welcome to Polymarket Studios. May I take your order? Oh shit, dude. Dude, let's go, bro. Oh my God.
I think we definitely have members of the populist left in our audience. That probably makes up the bulk of it. But I will say the majority of communication I get from our audience members in the form of emails, typically more conservative leaning, individuals who are like, I disagree with a lot of what you say, but I really appreciate your honesty and your openness. Or sometimes I say things that change a conservative's mind. And so
Dude, really? She changes a conservative's mind? Bro, dude, isn't that funny? Like, dude, it's like I don't know, it sounds like when conservatives say, wow, you're really open-minded, she like that really feels good to her, bro. Dude, yeah, no, their audience, if you look at their comments and shit, their audience is definitely center right, okay? Their audience is like center right, and I feel like you know what I think, guys? I feel like they actually have captured a little bit of Jimmy Dore's audience back, right? Jimmy Dore's audience is now like, you know, Ann and Cenk are kind of sounding good these days, right? And they're like, you know, that's what it feels like. It feels like they've won back some of the Jimmy Dore people. Dude, birthing person. Dude, camel toe.
I want to kind of go out of the way to not have a one-sided audience. I want an audience of independent thinkers more than anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly something that resonates with me a lot. It's been our goal at Tangle, and it's really hard because
See, what's really interesting, did you see what she said there? She said, I want an audience of independent thinkers. But like, what does that even mean, dude? Like, you don't even interact with your goddamn audience. Like, why do you care what your audience thinkers are like? Right? It's easy to sell anti-establishment to the masses. Yeah, dude. I mean, dude, the thing about anti-establishment is the danger is like everything has an establishment, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you look at Hassan, right? Hassan Piker is anti-establishment to the Democratic Party, right? But if you look at socialism, Hassan Piker is the socialist establishment, right? You know what I mean? So, like, even if you're anti-establishment in one thing, you are just the establishment in something else. There's always an establishment, right? So that's just it. Like, this idea of being anti-establishment is kind of a bullshit notion because, you know what I mean? You could be the most anti-establishment communist, but you're probably the de facto establishment communist person. And right? And so it's all just a fucking smoke and mirrors game, you know, which is why, you know, the idea of like, you know, I don't know. I tend to look at American politics a little differently as far as instead of what group to identify with, I just want, you know, I want to have the right powers. Like, I want to have the right people in power. Okay. That's what I want. That's my goal. It's to have the right people in power. And they're often not perfect people, right? Politics is tough because they're not perfect. You know what I'm saying? They're not. I mean, you're never going to get like 500 people that all think the same thing, especially not in the Democratic Party, you know? But, you know, I mean, it feels like American politics is mostly trying to prevent bad shit from happening. Right? We just don't want bad shit from happening. And we want to try and get the corrupt people out of there if we can. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you find a way to piss everybody off
Yes.
when you don't kind of get in the one camp or the other, and then you lose people collectively. I wanted to ask you about the evolution, though. I mean, you said on your show and in some media appearances that you feel like you're moving away from strictly being on the left and identifying more as independent or unaligned. When you think about like the core principles that anchor your politics now, what comes to mind for you?
Fairness, I would say. Fairness and justice and honesty, right?
Dude,
I've gotten
fairness and justice and honesty. But like, dude, those are her core principles. But like, what does that even mean, bro? You know what I mean? Like, fairness. Dude, what does fairness mean? We live in a capitalist world. There is no such thing as fairness in this world. This world is a manipulated, like fucking inside job. Like, fairness doesn't even exist. You know what I mean? Justice, right? She pulls out like the most cliched generalizations that have no actual tangible political value. right? Like fairness. Like the MAGA thinks, you know, putting a gun to the head of immigrants and dragging them out kicking and screaming, MAGA thinks that's fair and just and honest. You know? Like, bro, like she's pulling out these fucking like weaselly concepts that have no actual tangible political meaning, bro. Oh my God, dude. Dude, that, you know what she's basically saying? She's basically saying, well, I just want to be able to say whatever I want without pushback. And I want to like get some of that 𝗙cie𝗶𝗽𝗀 money as well.
To a point where I can suss out inauthentic BS and I can't stand it.
Dude, she says, hold on, guys. You ready? Hold on. Dude, she says,
let me.
She says she can suss out.
David Ellis.
She can suss out inauthentic, right? She can smell it. Inauthentic fucking BS. She can suss it out and like, man, I just don't want to be around it. Dude, look at that. Look at what's on screen. This is her fucking business partner. This is her fucking commentary partner. Marisol, let's go. Dude, guys, we got 19 minutes and 13 left. But so she is on a podcast with the woman who was pro-Biden for years, like covered up his mental faculties after the debate. The night of the debate, she was defending Biden when the whole world knew he was done. Then she switched to pro-Kamala until the day of the election. Then she flipped and said, I'm an immigrant. I've hated the way the Democrats have handled immigration. I love Trump. And now she spits out George Soros tropes, okay, on the stage for PBD. This woman would fucking lick any boot in the house for a promise of money, okay? She has no integrity. She's phony. She's fake. She's a liar. She spreads fucking harmful tropes. She's a bullshit artist. And Anna just told us, like, I can suss out inauthentic people. And it's like, you're a fucking liar, Anna. You're a fucking liar because you literally hang out with the most inauthentic, money-grubbing, grifter, phony-ass people on the planet. That's like, you have hitched your star to these fuckers, right? And you're going to tell us that you, like, let's watch her again, bro. Look at her. Tell us, Anna, about your integrity here.
Fine for you.
Fairness, I would say. Fairness and justice and honesty, right? I've gotten to a point where I can suss out inauthentic BS and I can't stand it. I want nothing to do with it. And I also don't like partisan rot. I don't like anyone who's partisan brain. Like, it's not that I don't like them as a person. Engaging with them on political issues is just a fruitless effort because they're going to cheer.
She's like, I like doing George Soros tropes with people who used to be Biden's biggest supporters, but then flipped to Trump 4 hours after the election was won.
For their tribe, no matter what. I mean, a perfect example, I don't know if you're familiar with Graham Plattner, who's
yeah, of course, yeah.
So look, guy had a Nazi tattoo for 20 years. I'm sorry, like I'm not going to defend that. I'm not buying this excuse of like, okay, even if I take at face value, he accidentally got a Nazi tattoo 20 years ago.
And nobody told him about it for the last 20 years.
Well, he found out around 10 years ago there was a Nazi tattoo. But like, if I found out I had a Nazi tattoo accidentally, which would never happen, but let's say that happened. Second, I find out, oh my God, this is a Nazi tattoo, I'm removing it. Or
see, here's the thing though that's interesting is while I might say, you know, I understand looking at Graham Plattner and putting the tattoo and shit and having that be important to you. I get that, right? I get that. I feel I have similar feelings about the Nazi tattoos or lying about being a working class person. But here's what I don't get though, guys, is her lack of consistency. Because if she wants to look at Graham Plattner and talk about his Nazi tattoo, fine, you're allowed to do that. But then you don't get to sit at a table and tell Tucker Carlson that you think he would make a great president, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, I agree with the Graham Plattner fucking Nazi tattoo line, but what I don't like is how she applies one sense of integrity to the progressive people, and then when she sits in front of Tucker Carlson, all of a sudden she has a whole different set of integrity, right? Like, Graham Plattner's bad for that Nazi tattoo, but then she's like, Nick Fuentes is really making sense here, guys, right? She's like, oh, those progressives, they're being so, like, extreme. Oh, Tucker, I think you would be my favorite presidential candidate ever, right? I mean, that is a very bizarre set of, like, value system where, going back to her, how fairness and justice and all that esoteric shit is so important. There doesn't seem to be a lot of fairness or justice or even consistency with how she lenses both sides of the political discussion, man. She looks at the progressive lens with intolerance and disdain, and she looks at the MAGA lens with, like, I want to give you the benefit of the doubt, and I'm here for you to win me over, right? And that's really, that's fucked up, bro. That's fucked up. You know, I mean, you know what I mean? And yeah, Uncle F, you're not wrong, right? Because I think the reason why she likes Lindy Lee is because of that. They're opportunists, okay? They're like, oh, all right, guys. Dude, we got 14 minutes. We need 13 and 14, guys. Let's get this dance party going. All right, we're going to fucking dance party. We're on the clock, baby. We're on the clock. Let's get the dance party going, bro. Dude, yeah, the Lindy Lee, I'm sorry, but for me, like, Anna Kasparian, like, being partners with Lindy Lee, like, all of her integrity is gone, okay? She has no integrity left whatsoever after, like, partnering with this woman. Like, this woman is the biggest phony in politics right now, all right? She is.
Or covering it. He covered it, like, a few days ago, once it became a political liability. I'm not going to defend the guy because, at least in terms of what he's saying, he aligns with some of my views on economic issues, right? I think it's important to be honest and not provide cover for your side when they engage in the same type of activity or behavior that you would criticize the other side for doing, you know?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I think kind of to that point, one of the things I know you've said sort of drove you away or is driving you away sometimes from the Democratic Party or who we think of as the liberal base is an intolerance of debate, I think is how you put it, which I like. I mean, I think it's something I see. There's sort of like this loyalty pledge that we see with Trump now on the conservative side. And then on the left, I often feel, yeah, an intolerance of debate. I think it's a really good way to put it.
Dude, Willem, let's go, baby. Thank you. Did you see how this guy kind of ran out of steam? He was like, oh, yeah, there's this, like, fealty to Trump. And on the left, there's, what does the left do? Dude, there's no fealty to anyone on the left, right? He's like, oh, an intolerance for debate, right? I mean, this guy's just meandering, bro. Yes, he said absolutely nothing. He was trying to, like, both sides it, but in the middle of his thought, he realized, oh, shit, that's not a both sides thing. There is complete fealty and capitulation on the right, and on the left, there isn't. There's like a zillion different factions, and you have fucking Hakeem Jeffries endorsing, you know, Zohran Mamdani. Okay, think about that. Okay, think about that. The Speaker of the House, one of the most centrist, milquetoast liberals in the entire caucus, fucking endorsed the socialists in New York City, bro. You're never gonna, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. That's the Democratic Party. And you know, and I mean, I don't think Hakeem even wanted to do it. He's only doing it to save his own ass, right? He's referring to Harris? Probably. I mean, dude, we know that Anna Kasparian don't like black people, right? Come on now. All right, guys. Dude, we need 12 more. 12 and 11. All right, we got to hustle for the dance party. Sorry, I got to turn into the carnival barker for a minute here. We don't want to miss this goal. I need my dance. Let's fucking go, baby. Debates have moderators? Dude, yeah, they don't debate. Bro, what are they talking? Dude, I don't know, dude. They're fucking the thing on the thumbnail with Anna saying, I want the humanity of both sides to be recognized. What does that even mean, bro? There's no humanity on the fucking right-wing side, boss. There isn't. There's no humanity, guys. There isn't. In MAGA, there's no humanity in MAGA. Zero. All right? Let's go, baby. Dude, Erica killed Charlie Kirk, dude. We know it. We know it was Erica. We know it was TPUSA. All right, we got fucking 10 minutes, baby. Oh, shit. Dude, you need a little warm-up? Oh, there we go. All right. Dude, it's gonna be like last night. Last night, everything happened in like the last minute, boss. Oh, shit. I don't think we're gonna make it. I think we may be toast. We may be milk toast today, dude. You love the channel? Let's go. Thank you, Logic. Glad you're here. They kept Erica at the White House. Dude, Erica, we have to look at that White House bit, dude, with Trump. Where's Erica? Where's Erica? Where's JD's fucking sloppy seconds, bro? Dude, he's such a weirdo. Dude, Willem, let's go, baby. All right. Dude, 11 more, boss. We got this. We fucking got this, baby. Dude, let's go. Dance party incoming. Remember, guys, it's not stickers. It's the super chats. The Mary Widho. Dude, the fucking, the Erica is so weird. Dude, appreciate you. Thank you, Drew. Let's go, baby, dude. Dude, 𝗙𝗙𝗋𝗄𝗆, let's get there. Holy shit, dude. 𝗙𝗙𝗋𝗄𝗆 bringing out big pimpin', dude. Drew and Gaz coming in hot, dude. We get a little Trumpy with that. Let's fucking go, dude. Tony, Trump took power shaming Republicans, not debate. Yes, indeed. Dude, see, the thing about that, though, guys, is I feel like Trump is an example of what we don't want to have in the Democratic Party. We don't want some guy to come in and just fucking shit all over everybody and take the whole power into one guy's worldview. I think that's dangerous, guys. I think you should have a wide like a worldview based on many different inputs, and then you piece together a general platform that serves a lot of different people. As far as I go, rest is up to us. The rest of us. Thank you, Willem, dude. You've gone above and beyond. You know what I mean? And I mean, I don't like that. I wouldn't want somebody to come in and just bash the shit out of the establishment and be like a takeover. I think that would be unhealthy. Sue me, dance party, let's go. You know, I think that shit is not good. You want every sort of group to be represented in a way. You want everybody to have a voice, you know? Dude, we got to look at the Erica clip, though. The Erica clip, that is some weird shit, boss. Okay? Erica Kirk, she's weird, guys. She is like, I'm telling you, man, her and Charlie Kirk, that shit is bizarro. Dude, Uncle F, watch out for floor splinters. We will. Let's go. Oh, dude, look at this. Dude, 7 minutes, 4 left. Dude, the squad just came through, bro. We got this. Dude, this is my carnival barker, dude. Every night, dude. I'm always advocating for the dance, though. I feel like it's an important part of the process. Dude, it is, dude. Dude, T-4, we got this. 𝗙𝗪𝗓. Dude, fuck 𝗙𝗪𝗓, boss. Dude, 𝗙𝗪𝗓 is like a very destructive force. All right? It is, dude. Dude, Erica's a fembot. I don't know what that means. I like the word, though, fembot. LFG, that's my problem with populism. Often ends up with the I am the only one who can do it, strongman leading it, which can be just as harmful. Yes, no less. I agree. Like, for me, guys, dude, oh my God, dude, proud liberal, get out, bro. Thank you, boss. Let's go. Like, I agree with what Les said there, right? Where I don't like demagoguery. Okay, guys? That is, and I don't care if it's a left-winger or if it's a right-winger or if it's a centrist. I don't like demagoguery. I don't like where somebody comes in and says, I'm the only person who can fix this. Okay? I feel like you have to be very wary of that when somebody behaves like they're the only person with the answers. And you know what I mean? You know, I mean, it's different. Laurel, let's go. Dude, it's different if somebody thinks like, oh, I'm smarter than everyone and I have the great ideas. But I'm talking about when people go into leadership positions and they start like, you know, because the idea of like, for me, I look at like presidents who don't look at themselves as being the guys who are the fucking thought leader, and they want to be the force, that they're just there to fucking navigate while everybody else leads. You know what I mean? I feel like the demagoguery really makes me nervous, okay? Because you don't want somebody who thinks they alone can fix it, because when you have a leader that says, I alone can fix this, what ends up happening is that leader won't listen to anybody else. They don't take other people's good ideas, okay? They don't ever bring people together. They're always more about like causing division and shit because they're constantly like running everybody else's energy through their own lens, okay? And I think, you know, the best leaders are the people who bring everybody to the fucking sculpture and they get everybody's hands on that sculpture, sculpting, right? Because it's better, the more people you have sculpting, the more people you have generating progress and ingenuity, the better off you're going to be in the end. Only I can save you. All else is fake news. Let's go, baby. Let's go. You know, dude, you know what I'm saying? Oh, we did it, guys. No way, dude. Marcia Jones, much love. Thank you, Marcia. Let's go. Dude, fucking hey, bro. That was so easy. Dude, we fucking killed it, boss. Holy shit, dude. Let's fucking go, dude. Dude, I'm going to give you guys a little teaser, bro. You ready? Here we go. Teaser. Little teaser for y'all. Hold on. Whoa! Come on, baby!
Can I make something good out of this?
Let's go! All right, little teaser, little hippie shake. You gotta shake that pee-pee for the crowd. Dude, I'm a stripper is what I am, boss, right? I'm like a clothed stripper, okay? I just shake my hips and pee-pee for the crowd. That's what I do, boss. No pole. Dude, the only pole is actually... Dude, all right, you're cut off, bro. You are done. Dude, let's go. So let me ask you this. Is 𝗙𝗫𝗃 getting sworn in tomorrow? Right? Because here's the thing, guys. As soon as 𝗙𝗫𝗃 gets sworn in, my first thought is which person on the discharge petition is going to back out? Is Nancy Mace going to back out, guys? Is Nancy Mace going to back out? That's the question everybody's asking. We know Thomas Massie ain't going to back out. We know MTG is not going to back out. But we know that Nancy Mace is trying to fucking polish a knob for that South Carolina endorsement. And I would not be surprised if she tries to cut a deal. But the thing is, though, is I feel like if she backs out for that Trump endorsement, Nancy Mace won't win in South Carolina. I don't think she'll win. I think that would cost her the election. So maybe she stays in. Okay? Maybe she stays in. Boebert was the other one. Dude, Murkowski. Dude, Murkowski is fucking useless, bro. Dude, E.T. Dude, she is like her and Susan Collins are my least favorite, but they're senators. You know what I'm saying? They're not even involved in this shit. You know what I'm saying? This is the House. The discharge petition is in the House. But Murkowski and Susan Collins in the Senate are probably my two least favorite fucking politicians out there. They're so scummy, right? They're so scummy, but they have nothing to do with the discharge petition. They're senators. They're off like fucking hosing us in completely different ways, right? Dude, she is so scummy. She's best friends with Ghislaine's husband. I mean, it doesn't surprise me, right? Dude, you're so sorry for those that are mad the Dems voted to open running out. See, here's the thing though, Les. My thing is this, guys. You ready? I'm going to go on the record saying this again. I want everybody to hear me because I do think Chuck Schumer is a terrible leader. And some shit has come to light of other things in that bill that are fucking terrible. Okay, but here's my take on it, guys. I think ending the shutdown right now and giving Trump a win right now when it doesn't matter, when he's underwater, is the best thing to do, right? Take care of the citizens through the holidays. Don't fucking murder people, and let's continue to fight the shutdown battle all year, right? I mean, we don't want to fight it now and win something in February. Like the elections in November, I want to fight this shutdown and SNAP and Medicare thing and fucking Obamacare all year, right up until October of next year, and then kick the fucking shit out of them in the election. That's what I think, okay? I think give them the win now when it doesn't matter. Okay, Trump, you think you got us over the barrel? You think you're fun? You're doing the tour? Oh, the Democrats are pussies? Fine. Think it. Think we're all pushovers, and then get ready because 6 months from now, we're going to kick you in the fucking teeth, bro. Metaphorically, of course. And we're going to fucking jazz this shit up and just tighten that piano string until it blows up right about October 15th of 2026. And then fuck you, Trumpy. By then, your approval rating will be down in the 20s, right? That's what I think. Okay, that's my fucking philosophy is like, let's fight this shit all year, you know what I mean? And because I think there are a lot of left-wing people that would have already suffered too. Like if we had just ground the holidays to a halt, I think a whole bunch of people in our own party would have really paid a heavy price for that. And we would have extracted nothing politically. And so the thing is, so Orphan, to be clear, I am open I am supportive of opening it now, getting 𝗏𝗏𝗏 sworn in, ramping up the Epstein shit, and then continuing to attack the healthcare shit all through the year because they just punted it. Like now, end of January, we're gonna be doing the shutdown battle again. And the SNAP is good until September of next year. So we're going to be having the SNAP fight 1 month before the election. I think we can fight we can have 2 or 3 more shutdowns, short ones that we capitalize on that really fuck up the Republicans, right? Look at how good we did in the election this time with the shutdown. Let's have 2 more shutdowns between now and November, right? You know what I mean? Like, let's just keep shutting down for purpose and don't like excessively harm our own people. You know, that's what I think. You couldn't agree more. Let's go, Les. I mean, but I mean, to me, right? To me, I don't think there was anything to win now, guys, because the Republicans, like, what do you think's going to happen if we just fully shut down and everything goes to shit? What do you think's going to happen? You think the Republicans are all of a sudden going to support Obamacare? And then if they did, what would that mean? That would mean they're the good guys, right? You know what I'm saying? Like if we shut it all down, they ground to the halt and they finally cave and say, oh, we're going to give you the Obamacare subsidies. Now we really gave them a win. We don't want them to give us those subsidies. We want them to continue being pricks that say they're no on healthcare, and then we want to punish the fucking shit out of them for it, right? We want them to be assholes, and we want to punish the fucking shit out of them. We want to give them the opportunity to be good, and then as soon as they're assholes again, we're like, fuck, dude, you guys can't govern. Here's one more chance to be good. Oh, no? You're still pricks? All right. And then fucking take the house back, you know? We want universal health care. Yeah, the universal health care is complicated, 𝗙Punk, because I know we want universal health care, but we're not going to get universal health care right now. I mean, it's just not available to us. Maybe 2028, right? Maybe it's possible if we fucking get the right people in office in the next 2 elections and get a president in, but we're not getting it this year. You know what I'm saying? We're not getting it this year, right? I just think like, you know, like you want to have the knockdown drag out. Okay, like I am not opposed, guys. Listen to me. I am not opposed to a brutal long-term shutdown that heavily affects the economy and the people and everything. I am all for that. Okay, I want to say it one more time. I am again all for a brutal shutdown that grinds the country to a halt. I am just not for it in December. I am for that in August of an election year, September of an election year, right? That's when I want that shit to happen. Not in December when like, it's like, what's going to happen? January is going to come around. There's no election in January. You want that punishment to happen right when it's time to fucking win an election and then fucking become the good guys. Okay? That's when you do it like we just did where we cleaned house, you know, but you don't want to do it in December unless there's a major fucking election in January, you know? Now, the problem though with Schumer is I don't think he's like leading good, okay? He could be leading more purposefully and having a unified message coming from the people, right? Not having Angus King going on there saying, oh, you can't stand up to Donald Trump. Or maybe, you ready? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe Angus King is saying you can't stand up to Donald Trump because maybe they want Trump to get haughty. Maybe they want Trump to get like arrogant and think, ooh, I got the Democrats. The Democrats are pushovers. Maybe they're trying to fuck with Trump and get him arrogant and shit. I don't know. I don't know what kind of like dealing is going on with these guys, but you know, I in my life, I have seen that you don't want to harm the people too much. Okay. The American public, if you harm them too much, right? If you stay shut down too long and there's no vote coming up, they may get ornery and they may fucking like, you know, behave in unpredictable ways. Okay. We don't really want to hurt the people who have SNAP. We don't really want to hurt the people that are relying on that shit. Now, I realize the Obamacare shit, people's premiums are going up, but there's no way to avoid that. Whether we open the government or don't open the government, the people's premiums were going to get jacked anyway, because the Republicans were not going to give those Obamacare subsidies. They just will not. They will go nuclear and try some crazy shit, I think, before they will give in to that. So then it becomes, knowing that, we have to think about how can we extract the biggest political punishment for them, knowing that they're going to be assholes on healthcare, right? And so that means we got to have that fight closer to the election. Okay? We got to have that fight when people can do something about it and they can, right? They can go to the they can go to the polls to punish somebody for that shutdown. Okay? That's my philosophy. Okay? I'm not too worried about looking good or looking tough. I mean, sometimes you got to fucking bend over at a time when it doesn't really hurt you, you know? And so, I mean, I think right now, if Trump is all gloating and got his big win, I mean, you know, we're going to swear in 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. We're going to start going after the Epstein files. And January 30th, you know, we got a whole nother fucking fight again about this same shit. We're going to be fighting about this in 2 months. Okay, so let people have the holidays. Let them eat. Let them get their SNAP. Let them fucking, you know, get their paychecks. And then we'll fight again in 2 months. But now we'll have 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 sworn in. And now we can attack the Epstein files too. You know, I don't know. I don't think it was the worst thing. But here's the thing though, guys. I don't feel like Chuck Schumer has fucking like addressed any of that, you know? Like, I don't think he's not letting us know, like, guys, this, right? He's not selling us the move. He's just sort of like, you know, like not selling us anything. You know what I'm saying? And that I don't like, dude. He makes us look weak, even if we're being strong. And so I don't like that. I don't like how he continually makes us look weak. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? That bothers me. But I do know, and I know people get mad at me. Like, I had some people in my comments after I talked about the shutdown where some guy in the comments said, I thought you were about helping people. You're just about winning political power. He's like, I don't think I can watch your content anymore. And I'm like, but I'm like, dude, if you don't have political power, you can't help people. Like, you have to win the political power, dude. You can't help people by, right? I mean, look at the Republicans are a classic example. Okay, they have not helped people for 15 years. All they did was obstruct with McConnell and fucking, you know, Obama and all that shit. And look at them. Look at who their leader is. It's an 80-year-old rapist crybaby, Epstein lister, who is filled with nothing but retribution. The Republican Party is like so fucked. I mean, they haven't lost their power yet. You know what I'm saying? They haven't yet. But the minute they actually lose power and woke 2.0 hits, dude, the Republican Party is going to be so fucked, bro. You know what I'm saying? It is a fucking crying shame. People are being made to suffer. I mean, that's true, Willem. That it is true. But you know what, though, Willem? If people would just vote better, we wouldn't have to do this shit. I mean, we keep having to do this game of making people suffer because people won't just vote for a Democratic trifecta for like 12 years, bro. I mean, if people just got 60, 65 fucking Democratic senators and a Democratic majority in the House and a Democratic president for like 16 years, right? For four fucking cycles, we wouldn't have this fucking problem. You know what I'm saying? But people just keep going back and forth, right? People will give a Democratic Congress and then they vote for a Republican president to keep them in line. Or the Republican president is out of line. You know what I mean? It's like people keep vacillating back and forth, right? If we just got a mix of progressive candidates and shit and got a trifecta for like 12 years, 16 years, we would probably have a chance. It's just you can't go back and forth every time. You know, we keep going back and forth. After 2 terms, we go to the other side for 2, then we go to the other side for 2. It's like you got to pick one side, and then you got to pick that side for like 20 years. And you got to hold through to it and show up while they're there and protest your own side and make your fucking voice heard, not just during an election year, but while they're governing. You got to go to Washington and do the march for healthcare and shit. You know, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, we got to stay involved while we have power and fucking show up and shit and do that for like 20 years, man. It's like, it's a long haul. You know what I'm saying? It's a long haul. But there's a couple things to be fixed first, though, guys. I think honestly, guys, you ready? Here's my take, okay? Here's my take, is I think right now we're hampered a little bit. And why are we hampered? Because we have representatives that have been in there for 40 years. We have a bunch of 90-year-old people. Like, we do need a generational die-off of like, we got to get rid of some of these people that have been governing since the 70s, okay? On both sides of the equation, okay? We need all of the Pelosi's and fucking, you know, and McConnell's and fucking, you know what I'm saying? The Grassley's, we need all of those people like out. All of the people that have been governing for 50 fucking years. We got to get rid of all of them, dude, no matter what party they're in, dude. We got to get rid of all of the 50-year people, and we need fresher, younger blood in there. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? We do. We need that desperately to just get some fucking, you know what I'm saying? We need to get rid of those old fuckers, bro. Dude, the average age of the Senate is like 70, dude. 70, bro. 67. That's too old, man. You know what I'm saying? That means those people were in their 20s when Reagan was around, bro. No, dude. No. Dude, you know? Like, yeah, dude, I think Nancy Pelosi stepping down, good move. Good move, boss. All right, I'm going to go get some water. I'll be right back.
Is pulling everywhere. I'm afraid to let them. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in panic. After you, I'm afraid of feeling some too soon. Cling to what you're giving. Nothing is what I say. I feel far away. Nothing is what I think. I will drown in panic. Yeah.
Let's go. But guys, I do want to say one thing coming back. I still think getting 𝗙𝗪𝗪𝗀𝗧 fucking sworn in, I think is really important. Okay? I think that creates a whole nother nightmare for Trump to worry about, right? With the government shutdown going on and no 𝗙𝗪𝗪𝗪, he has no worry about the Epstein files. And now he's got to worry about another shutdown and the economy and the Epstein files, because we can always shut it down again in January. You know, don't forget that. Okay. Now, the other thing I wanted to say that I was thinking about like the Democratic Party, because we have progressives and people like Bernie's crew, and we have the more staunchy liberals like Hakeem Jeffries. And here's what I want to say. And then we're going to go back to Anna. We're going to look at some of this Riley Gaines. What I wish, okay, if I could go back and turn back time, I would go back to Bernie and Hillary and try to get them to be more like Kathy Hochul and Zoran Mamdani, okay? And that was the one thing that I don't think we did well is I don't think like Bernie and Hillary fought each other, but they never got to a fucking support each other kind of thing. They left it with resentment and bitterness and strife inside the caucus. They never made friends. And I think that gave Trump a lot of squeak in. And you know, I don't know if it was Bernie's fault or Hillary's fault or the establishment's fault or the Bernie bros. I don't think it matters. I just think we should have come together and found a way to be kumbaya after that shit. And we didn't. And I think it's been very costly, right? And I've sort of watched Zoran Mamdani and Kathy Hochul, like they didn't do that during that race. And now maybe they're not going to do it afterwards because they're going to have a battle, right? Like Kathy Hochul can't maybe give Zoran everything he wants. And Zoran, you know, can't fucking be what Kathy Hochul wants. But the question is, can they be something together that allows them both to benefit? Okay. And you know, and maybe that wasn't possible in 2016 because we know Bill's on the West. Okay. And we know there's some shit going on in like Bill's world that is like, maybe that was it. Maybe there was an Epstein problem that we didn't even know about in 2016. I don't know, guys. And there was definitely Russian interference. There was a lot of shit, dude. I don't know who to point the fingers on, right? But like when I look at 2016, I think, man, if Bernie could have been the VP to Hillary, like, bro, that shit would have been fucking unreal, bro. If it could have been Hillary Bernie instead of Hillary fucking Tim Kaine, like, dude, a Hillary Bernie ticket would have won the whole goddamn world, man. It would have been like, right? Because the thing is I love Bernie, but I thought Bernie would have maybe gotten fucked over by the Congress, right? But if Bernie would have been the guy presiding over the Senate, man, you know what I mean? And then Hillary could have been the one to wrangle the fucking center libs, and we could have had the progressives and the libs together. We would have fucking owned, guys. But like, you're right, Hillary wouldn't. I don't know if Bernie would have. You know what I mean? But like, dude, the Hillary Bernie ticket would have been fucking banging, bro. It would have like, that shit would have been banging, dude. You know, that shit would have been banging, boss. Right? And Hillary, man, she fucked up, bro. And Bernie fucked up. We all fucked up. Dude, that would have been some shit, boss. You know, and I don't think he wanted to play second fiddle either, right? I think there was a problem, dude. You know what I mean? It's too bad, though. Dude, you don't think his base would have let him do that? Yeah, see, if I don't know, man. I think that would have been amazing. But you're right, it probably would have been a problem. Like, I don't think Bernie could have been as anti-establishment if he was like second fiddle, right? I always felt like Bernie was had a little too much demagoguery for me personally. He was a little too like, I'm the only guy with the answers. I didn't like that. But man, dude, Hillary Bernie would have been amazing, bro. Oh shit, dude. That would have been amazing. And it would have maybe been his path to presidency in 2024. Like, maybe Bernie would be president right now if he had done that. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck, dude. And we would be, right? Bernie would have fucking won in 2024. AOC would have been his VP, and we'd have fucking, maybe we'd have some health care, right? Dude, right? A different timeline? Oh, shit. Dude, that would have been incredible, dude. Bernie would be our fucking 80-some-year-old president right now, dude. You know? Dude, let's go. Hillary arrested. Dude. Oh, shit. Let's go. Dude, but I think I am in La La Land. All right, you ready? Let's get back to some politics, shall we? Now that I fucking have said some of the craziest shit you'll ever hear, boss.
I'm wondering, like, how you define that, and if you can give an example of something you've experienced that you felt like came from the left of you.
Sure. I mean, I think one of the prime examples that I personally experienced last year was when I agreed to go on Glenn Beck's show. I don't know why I agreed to do it. It was a pleasant conversation. I mean, I don't agree with much of what he believes, but it's okay. I think the reason why I just started saying yes to everything and showing my willingness to talk with anyone is because I wanted to make a point about how this doesn't, by definition, engaging with someone you disagree with doesn't mean you are now co-signing onto their beliefs. It means that you're, honestly, more than anything, getting to know what they actually believe.
See, this is bullshit, though, dude, right? This is bullshit because she went on Glenn Beck. I made a video about Glenn Beck. She went on Glenn Beck and said, you guys are right about the left. They're terrible. Democrats are horrible. You guys are so much more open-minded and together. I'm really attracted to what you guys are doing now because the Democrats are so bad, like you've been saying. Dude, she didn't go on there to get to know Glenn Beck. She went on there to trash and say, Glenn Beck, you're right. You guys are right and amazing. And I'm starting to fucking realize how right you are. Please let me share some space at your table, right? That's why this is such bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Same with Cenk Uygur when he went to America Fest, Amfest with Charlie. Dude, he fucking polished Charlie's knob and said, please be nice to me because you guys are so right and the left-wing people are so unreasonable and, toxic. Dude, they have such a distorted idea in their mind. I saw somebody say, Anna's going to say something crazy in 5, 4, 3. Dude, you called it. Who said that? Dude, what was it? Where was it? Dude, right here, it was Sam. Put a pin in that, Tommy. Anna Contrarian is guaranteed to say infinitely crazier shit. In 5, 4, 3. Dude, Sam, you're so right, dude. I will never doubt you again, boss. Ever, right?
Instead of sitting back and letting others summarize someone's character for you. And I realized that in many years of my career, I was allowing people who I thought I could trust tell me what I should think about the others, right? The people who believe differently from me.
Dude, yeah. In other words, she was like, wow, my career's in the toilet and maybe a pivot to the right will get me some of that Hassan Piker money that I've been so like thirsting after. Or maybe like there's not really a requirement to be an anchor at Fox News other than to be a shitty like Trump knob polisher. So maybe I'll get that Fox News anchor that I was never going to get at CBS.
So I'm kind of like in this quest to understand people and what their arguments really are. And I want to go straight to the source as opposed to, just rely on whether it's corporate media, legacy media, anyone else has to say about it. But once I did that interview, we had a TYT contributor who quit and made a spectacle about it.
Just for going on the show?
Just for going on Glenn Beck's show.
Wow.
He didn't cite anything I said that offended him. He made the argument that just by having a conversation with Glenn Beck, I'm harming Black bodies. I don't know what that means. I don't think I've harmed a single Black body or anybody at all. But he quit in a very spectacular fashion. We lost a huge portion of our subscribers as a result.
Who quit there? Who's she talking about? Hold on. Dude, yeah.
Interview. We had a TYT contributor who quit. Whether it's corporate media, legacy media, anyone.
Dude, who quit there? Who is she talking about? Right? About the Glenn Beck.
Else has to say about
Was
it.
that Mondale? Or fucking who quit right then?
But once I did that interview, we had a TYT contributor who quit and made a spectacle about it.
Just for going on the show?
Just for going on Glenn Beck's show.
Wow.
He didn't cite anything I said that offended him. He made the argument that just by having a conversation with Glenn Beck, I'm harming Black bodies. I don't know what that means. I don't think I've harmed a single Black body or anybody at all. But he quit in a very spectacular fashion. We lost a huge portion of our subscribers as a result of that.
Wow.
And I was happy to see it.
I'm looking it up.
Because I don't want people like that in the audience. I want independent thinkers who are able to actually watch the conversation and decide for themselves whether or not I said something that was so egregious that they can no longer be supporters.
Yeah, no, it was Mondale, guys. I mean, I knew that, right? It's right here. It says the person who resigned from the Young Turks live on the air, dude. He fucking resigned live. Dude, I love him for that. Instead of just announcing it on Twitter, he fucking resigned live on the air due to the network's perceived shift away from progressive principles and embrace of conservative personalities like Glenn Beck. In December 2024, Robinson, a TYT contributor and the mayor of Enfield, North Carolina, criticized Anna Kasparian and Cenk Uygur for placating conservatives. That's the word, guys. Placating. Okay? You want to talk to conservatives, you want to get to know them and challenge their worldview, fucking do it, right? Do it. You should be doing that. But when you're going to go on a conservative show and say, you guys are right, the left is bad, oh, you guys are so open-minded, oh, I love you guys, fuck that shit, okay? That is not fucking meeting people where they are. That's like fucking ass kissing. The user's query mentioned specific comments about harming black bodies. Are you interested in the specific comments that they made that made Mondale others so sure. Yes. Right. Right. Like gaslighting on crime. He didn't direct specific direct quotes, but he did say that she gaslighting on crime. We know her homelessness and infantilizing people of color. For Robinson, the founder of Black Male Voter Project, Kasparian's rhetoric aligned with conservative talking points and failed to acknowledge the systemic racism. So let's go. So that's who she's talking about. She's talking about Mondale, right? Dude, let's go. All right. Dude, these are not the drones you're looking for. Dude, let's go. Dude, good for Mondale, too. With him, like, doing it live. Like, I fucking love that shit.
And I was happy to see it because I don't want people like that in the audience.
Okay, let's see.
IT contributor who say a lot of arguments really are, and I want to go straight to the source as opposed to, you know, just rely on whether it's corporate media, legacy media, anyone else has to say about it. But once I did that interview, we had a TYT contributor who quit and made a spectacle about it.
Just for going on the show.
Just for going on Glenn Beck's show. Wow. He didn't cite anything I said that offended him.
Dude, again, though, Mondale didn't quit just because Anna went on Glenn Beck, okay? Mondale quit because of the slide, okay? Mondale had been watching the same slide we all watched. The freak out about like the birthing person, the freak out about the homeless people, the fucking Anna, you know, being in this quizzical, weird, pseudo right-wing space. And then, you know, and then what do we have too? There's the election year, the Polymarket Studios. Like there was so much anti-fucking, you know, Biden, anti-Kamala Harris, anti-Democrats, right? And the snotty fights with Francesca and Emma, like there was a huge right-wing fucking slant from both of these idiots. And then one day he's like, oh, now you're going and fucking pandering. She was pandering to Glenn Beck. She didn't just go and argue with him. She was fucking pandering to his ass. And he had been watching years of her bullshit. And so then he was like, dude, this is the last fucking straw. And I mean, dude, all I can say is the last year during the election, anybody on the left who doesn't disavow Anna and fucking Cenk Uygur, they're lying to themselves because these people were so Trump helping, like denying Project 2025, saying Trump isn't a fascist. Like, come on, bro. Polymarket fucking Studios, bro. Like anybody who says Polymarket Studios ain't on our fucking side. Like, come on, man.
He made the argument that just by having a conversation with Glenn Beck, I'm harming black bodies. I don't know what that means. I don't think I've harmed a single black body or any body at all.
Yeah, but she's like, I don't know what that means, and I wouldn't sit down. You ready for this? Let me pause right here. She will go and sit down with Glenn Beck to understand what he means, right? To get to know what he's saying. But would she sit down with Mondale Robinson and say, I don't know what it means. How did I harm black bodies? Mondale, can we sit down and I get to know how you feel about this? She wouldn't do that, right? She won't do that with Mondale. Right? She won't do that with Franny or fucking Sam fucking Cedar, right? But she'll do it with Glenn Beck. She'll do it with fucking, you know, Charlie Kirk, right? With MTG, right? With Lindy Lee. See? You're a fucking liar, Anna. We just caught you at your game. Look at her face, too. She's like, oh, I don't know what he meant about harming black bodies. And I'm certainly not going to sit down with him and take a minute to understand it, to talk with him about it. I'm going to go talk to Glenn Beck some more.
But he quit in a very spectacular fashion. We lost a huge portion of our subscribers as a result of that. And I was happy to see it because I don't want people like that in the audience. I want independent thinkers who are able to actually like watch the conversation and decide for themselves whether or not I said something that was so egregious that they can no longer be supporters.
Oh yeah, dude, she wants independent thinkers that fuck dude, because surely Mondale's not an independent thinker, right?
The program.
Yeah, that seems really tough to navigate. I'm not really sure how I'd handle that. I mean, personally,
Dude, I think I would have sat down with Mondale and said, okay, let's fucking talk, bro. Tell me, like, educate me on how I'm harming black bodies. And like, then maybe Anna would have realized, wow, I actually am harming black bodies, right? You know what I'm saying? But
you know, I've sort of begun subscribing to something I've heard Megyn Kelly say, which, you know, a person who I have a lot of disagreements with, and she just says, I'm responsible for what I say and nobody else. And I think, like, you can't really ask for more than that for somebody. It's okay. I think we should police our own side, and, like, there's something to that, you know, if you're...
Dude, like, I'm responsible for what I say and nobody else. It's not exactly true, guys. It's not exactly true. Okay, like, for example, I'm going to give you an example, guys. This guy, and he used Megyn Kelly, which is bullshit. But, like, you have power, okay? Like, for example, I was a single father, okay? I have a lot of power in my kid's life. Dude, Agent Zero's harming black bodies with their false flag BS. Let's go. Let's go. I don't know what that means, C-Punk. Who's Agent Zero? But, I love it. But, dude, I have power. Okay, so I bring in a stepmother figure for my son. If I bring a woman into a relationship who is now a mother figure or a parental figure for my kid, I am kind of responsible for what she says, guys. I am. Like, you know what I mean? My power means that if I bring somebody in and I give them power, the shit they say is affecting my flock, whoever that is, whether my flock is my son or my employees or my audience. So yes, I do have a little bit of responsibility in how I navigate what gets said and how I respond to that, you know? So like, I disagree with this idea that you can bring in these toxic voices and just let them go off with no responsibility. No, how you respond to what they say when you have a platform, when you have power, when you have influence is important. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Dude, what's Agent Zero? C-Punk, right? What is Agent Zero? Who is that? Dude, am I not in the know here? Dude, let's go.
You're on the left, or if you're in this kind of heterodox independent space and you see something that feels rotten, you should speak out.
Totally.
And I wish Megyn would maybe do more on, you know, like calling out people like Candace Owens for certain things or whatever. But I respect the position of like, I'm responsible for what I say and that's it. I'm curious. I mean, one of the, obviously, I think anybody who's familiar with your work knows that you've been really outspoken about what's happening in Gaza. And I know I've seen you get some criticism. Some of it, I think, quite unfairly. I mean, I watch your show. I'm a fan, and I'm somebody who has identified as a Zionist. And I see you, in my view, trying really hard to be careful about the way you say things, to not step on the landmines. Nevertheless, some of your criticism is really harsh about Israel, and I know that you've been accused of being an anti-Semite. And
dude, that accusing. We're gonna move on because I can't spend all night on Anna. We got to cover this Riley Gaines bit because I think it's pretty funny. But dude, the merchant shit was nuts, bro. She's been accused of being an anti-Semite, and I don't think that's a stretch, okay? Because I've seen her behave in ways where it's like, God damn, bro, there is some shit, man. You know what I'm saying? The merchant shit, the Tucker Carlson shit, the venomous. Like, she often is just railing into the dark, right? You like interchanging Zionism and Israel and IDF in a way that is like, I can't really tell who she's talking about. And that merchant shit was gnarly, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was like not an accident. Like, that was real, you know, and I mean, dude, for me, after The Merchant, okay, after The Merchant, which all the groypers were like, holy shit, Anna's coming around, right? When the groypers and the racists think you're doing it right, you have to self-reflect, okay? But after The Merchant, guys, after that, after The Merchant, with her being like, oh, you're making shit up, I'm not anti-Semitic, I went to the Her Take podcast, okay, after Jillian walked off. I had not checked in on Her Take. I just went and watched like 10 minutes of the podcast, and it was Lindy Lee and Savannah Hernandez and Amy Dangerfield and Anna and Isabella DeLuca, and they were all talking about George Soros tropes the whole fucking time. And I was like, dude, there's no way. After The Merchant shit and you saying I'm not anti-Semitic, I go into your podcast and it's a bunch of right-wing women talking about George Soros tropes and you're yucking it up with them? Like, come on, man. Who are you kidding at this point? We got Tucker, we got all the right-wing shit, we got The Merchant, we got the George Soros trope. Like, at this point, like, it's like confirmed, you know? You know what I mean? It's like the anti-Semitism is fucking confirmed, man. It's just not being admitted is all it is. She's not admitting it, you know? Like, dude, and I think you can be anti-IDF, anti-Netanyahu, pro-Palestinian, and not anti-Semitic. I think you can do all of that at the same time, but you have to be fucking clear with your language and clear with your avoidance of fucking tropes and clear with like what you're actually fighting for. Because I think the anti-Palestinian and the anti-Semitic shit are really similar. I think I think you can fight against anti-Semitism and fight for the Palestinian people because the anti-Semitism and the Islamophobia is real fucking similar. I think Zoran Mamdani has shown some great examples of how to do that. And he won a significant portion of the Jewish vote because people could see that those things are fucking similar, you know? Right? You know, you're right, because they're Semitic people too. Yes. No, for sure, dude. All of that shit. It's like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's like fucking, I don't know. And Anna just fails. Dude, is Christian Lopez. Oh my God. Dude, that's funny. C-Punk. Christian Lopez. I don't know who he is, dude. I think he's a religious guy. A religious white guy. Right? He's Christian. It's in his name, bro. Right? You know? Oh, shit. Dude, isn't that funny? Oh, shit. Dude. All right, that's my take on it. All right, but dude, we got to go to Riley Gaines, guys, because Riley Gaines was being funny today. We can always count on Riley Gaines to be a fucking idiot, okay? Dude, can I just show you something? Because, dude, right? Like, dude, she is so whacked out, boss. Okay? But let me just show you, dude. Okay? Like, this is fucking crazy. Okay? Dude, so she was on the news today, right? Of course. Riley Gaines, she's been like taking a victory lap because of the Olympic ruling. Because for the time being, transgender people are being excluded from fucking sports. And so that's her big victory lap, right? But so she went on Hannity today, though. You ready? Dude, Riley, oh, dude, yeah, Riley is like, she's like a Fox News fucking contributor, right? But she went on Hannity today, guys, and fucking... This shit is so funny, boss. Okay? Like what we're about to see. I I thought I fucking saved it, bro. Let me find it. Dude. It's the furry shit. Okay? So this guy, okay, let me find this. So there's a guy, right? There is a guy, okay, in fucking Michigan. Dude. Let me find the clip. Give me a sec. All right, give me 1 sec to find the clip, dude. I had it saved, and now I don't know what I did with it. But okay. So it's what's funny about this is, let me find the clip. Dude, where is this clip, bro? I know, dude. The anti-trans shit is so tired, right? And it's definitely losing a lot of its power. Okay? The anti-trans shit is losing a lot of its power, as we saw with Winsome in Virginia. Okay? They got on this kick because of Donald Trump, because he wielded it and got accolades from the audience. Every time he mentioned trans people, he got a lot of claps. So he started talking about them more. And then they started seeing that people were freaked out about the sports thing. And so it became this trigger point issue that they like put all their chips in. Because the minute they find like the word woke or the word Antifa, the minute they find a fear button, they just fucking hold their hand on it and try to use that scary button to win elections. That's all the Republicans do, okay? That's all they do, man, right? They find one thing. If it works, they just don't do anything else, okay? And you know what I'm saying? And it's so dumb. But so Riley was on Hannity today. Let me find this with the craziest clip I've ever seen, dude. It's so dumb, dude. Oh, here it is. I found it. You ready? It was an ASIN clip. I knew I had it. All right, so this is the clip, dude. You ready? Watch this clip, dude. This is Riley on Hannity, okay? And so she goes on Hannity, and like, think about this, guys. Think about the world we have. This woman has done nothing in the world. You know what I'm saying? She's done nothing in the world. She got 5th place in one swim meet to a trans woman who tied. There were 4 other fucking cisgendered women who beat her in that race. She tied for 5th. So if the trans woman wasn't there, Riley is still 5th. Okay? Then she tries out for the Olympics and she gets 85th. So she ain't good enough to go Simone Biles or any of that shit. She's a loser. Now, simultaneously, at University of Kentucky, while she was there swimming, guys, her coach was raping her teammates. Her coach was. It came out about a year later that her coach was raping her teammates, but she doesn't have a problem with raping coaches She voted for a raping president, 𝗙cie𝗶𝗍𝗍. She decides to make her battle about transgender shit. Okay, because why? Because it gets her on Fox News. And all of a sudden she is somebody. She's going on Hannity. Okay, but look at where we're at, guys. We're in a shutdown. There's 1,000 victims of the Epstein shit that were being stonewalled by Republicans. A bunch of rich rapist abusers are getting off, and she's not concerned about that. There's people starving. There's homelessness. There's VCs buying houses. And what does she do? She goes on Hannity to talk about a furry running for Congress. Okay, there's a guy. Where is it? 𝗙𝗪𝗎𝗍𝗪. Okay, there's this guy. Okay, let me find him. Let me look him up. So there's a guy named 𝗙𝗪𝗎𝗪, okay, who is running for Congress. Okay, this guy. All right, now, I don't know who this guy is. Okay, this is a guy who fucking dresses up as in some furry suit or whatever. He calls himself fucking, right? He calls himself Alien Badger. Okay, he's a National Guard veteran in Michigan who is running for Congress. Look at him. He's obviously like pro fucking hemp, right? All right. I mean, this guy's a character, right? You know, like, I don't know, dude. Maybe he wins in Congress. Maybe he doesn't, right? But like, dude, this guy just looks like a quirky individual that I bet actually probably has some pretty decent political opinions. Okay. I bet he does. I bet some of his political shit is not all that bad, right? I'm totally up for like hearing him out. I don't know who he is. I don't know if I'd vote for him, but like, is this guy running for Congress? Is this really Riley Gaines' biggest issue? This guy is the dude she's concerned about. Running for Congress in some Michigan district. We don't even know if he's going to win, right? But this is like her culture war shit, right? That like, this is what Riley's worried about. Oh, fuck, bro. This guy, the furry running for Congress, that means litter boxes are going to end up on the street corners or some shit, right? You know what I mean? Like, dude, like, it's just not a huge deal. But look at her on Hannity, guys. Look at her clip. You ready? Watch this.
No, you really don't, Sean. You can't make this stuff up. A self-identified furry running for Congress. Our founding fathers are rolling over in their graves. But honestly, this is what the Democratic Party platform has become. Fringe candidates, identity cosplay, open hostility towards anyone like you and myself with traditional values, instead of serious people focused on things like inflation and education and national security. Democrats are nominating internet characters who think Congress is like Comic-Con. It says everything about the current state of their own party that this is not immediately disqualifying.
Now, dude, first off, right, judging the whole Democratic Party because of one guy, right? So one guy, 𝗙𝗪𝗎𝗪, is like running for Congress. Now it's like the whole Democratic Party is like furries and shit. And she's like, oh my God, the founding fathers. But like, dude, who is the leader of their fucking party, bro? The leader of their party is Epstein's good buddy. He is like, I mean, if anybody is a cartoon fucking character, it's Donald fucking Trump, who's out there doing the jerk it dance, right? Guy can't even dance. He never moves his fucking hips. He just stands there jerking it and talking about batteries and sharks dying to batteries. You know what I'm saying? Like, but she's worried about the one furry, the self-identified furry in Michigan, dude. You know what I mean? Like, really? This is your worry, right? And yeah, dude, you're right, dude. Her eyes are crazy, bro. Her eyes, right? Magnets. Dude, like Trump talks about magnets and fucking and insane asylums, right? dude, it's so funny though. But she's like, yeah, the Democrats are creating these characters, right? When like, really? Dude, if we're going to talk about characters, right? Shouldn't we talk about like, I mean, this woman's a character, isn't she? Now, granted, this is a meme of Nancy Mace, but like, dude, this meme is like, I mean, it's not all that inaccurate, right? Nancy Mace runs around taking pictures of her next to bathrooms and like using transgender slurs and fucking, right? And like running around with her arm in a sling after a handshake or telling a constituent to fuck off, right? Hold the line, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, that's a fucking character. Okay. Or what about the president who was like, they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs, and they're lying. But like, that's a fucking character, right? Right. Yeah. She wore the scarlet letter. Yes. Dude. Yes. Oh my God. Dude, I have that one too. Remember? There she is, guys. There's Nancy Mace. Yeah. Not a character, right? Not a character playing a fucking part, right? Dude, not a character. Or wait, dude, we're going to go in, dude. I have so much Nancy Mace shit. Definitely not a character, guys. Not somebody just being a reality TV star. Not at all, right? Not at all. Wait, there's more, guys. There's Nancy Mace, dude. And what's funny about it is how Nancy's not even smart, because look at this shit. Real women have their own bathroom in Israel, she said. But then she got community noted because Israel allows trans people to use the bathrooms of their gender identity. So she's out there doing the Israel bathroom thing, and she's dumb. She doesn't even realize that she doesn't even know what she's fucking talking about, bro. Right? But not a character, right? Right? Oh, yeah, dude. Dude, yeah, let's go, dude. As long as we're on this, right? As long as we're on this shit and we're going into the characters, dude, let's fucking, let's get into this shit. Yeah, dude. Oh, fuck, bro. Christie is another great one, dude, right? Oh, Lord. Yeah, dude, do we have the fucking Christie Noam? Right? Like, let's find her fucking, hold on. Dude, remember this one? Oh my God, dude. Dude, totally not a character. She's pointing the rocket launcher right in that guy's head, bro. Dude, definitely not a character, right? She's a very serious issue-oriented politician, right? Oh, it gets better. You ready, guys? I mean, dude, we want to get better. Let's go over to the old Valentina Gomez, right? Oh my God, dude. You ready? Do we have some? Can I hear Valentina Gomez for the fucking, for the serious politician, right? Or Valentina Gomez with the fucking, remember this one? Oh, this is an oldie but goodie. There you go. There we go, dude. The very serious right-wing policy politician. Valentina Gomez. Dude. Oh, shit, bro. Remember, she's got some fucking dead body, some fake body tied up on the chair. Dude, with her, look at her, bro. God. Oh, Lord have mercy, boss. Those legs, dude, yeah. I mean, but, dude, but let's go back and just, now that we've seen that, let's hear fucking her again. You ready?
No, you really don't, Sean. You can't make this stuff up. A self-identified furry running for Congress. Our founding fathers are rolling over in their graves. But honestly,
yeah, wait, hold on. Let's look at our founding fathers. Yeah, these guys wearing wigs and high heels are certainly rolling over in their graves, dude. Right? Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, dude, the aristocrats of those times were pretty... I mean, I think they swung, if you know what I mean, boss. The founding fathers. But anyway, all right, hold on.
No, you really don't, Sean. You can't make this stuff up. A self-identified furry running for Congress. Our founding fathers are rolling over in their graves. But honestly, this is what the Democratic Party platform has become. Fringe candidates, identity cosplay, open hostility towards anyone like you and myself with traditional values.
Dude, fringe candidates. Open fringe. The Democrats have the fringe candidates, right? The fringe, open hostilities, cosplay, the cosplay. Dude, it's so funny, bro. She's so funny. Dude, she's so funny.
Instead of serious people focused on things like inflation and education and national security, Democrats are nominating internet characters who think Congress is like Comic-Con. It says everything about the current state of their own party that this is not immediately disqualifying.
Dude, the serious characters of national security guys. Hold on, you ready? Dude, the serious characters about national security, right? The serious characters like fucking, like Trump that fucking posts videos of like bombing boats and shit, right? You know what I mean? The serious characters. Right? That fucking posts this shit. Dude, right? That's the serious shit, dude. You know what I'm saying? This is the shit the very serious politicians like Hegseth and Trump do, where they just show like post clips of like just randomly killing fucking unidentified human beings out in the water somewhere. No jury trial, no even confirmation that they were drug boats, right? Dude, all of those aristocrats, though, the founding fathers, I think all of these aristocrats that came over, like all of these guys were like banging each other, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like all these guys, dude, all the rich people were having sex parties and shit back then. Like, what are we even talking about, dude? They were all fucking like working that shit up, dude. They were just gluttonous in every way, dude. Sexually, you know, fucking with their money, with their food, with their alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Dude, like, come on, man. What are we talking about? But the founding, I love, though, how Riley Gaines is up here talking about the founding fathers and the rot in the Democratic Party. Because, of course, the other thing that she was flipping out about, let me find the other clip, dude. She was flipping out about this clip from the IHIP woman. You ready? The IHIP women really sent Riley off the edge. You ready with this clip?
I think a lot of the people that are involved in this movement are either psychopaths, sociopaths, they like it. I'm talking about like Stephen Miller, right? Right. And then you've got people that are religious addicts. And you guys, that is a real thing. Like somebody can be an alcoholic, somebody can be a drug addict. A lot of people are religious addicts.
That's absolutely true. And you know who the religious addicts are, guys? Right? The religious addicts are the guys, are the people in the party like Riley. Okay, Riley is a religious addict. You know how we know? Because she ignores the fucking freaks in her own party who's also a religious addict, like burning the gay books or doing this crazy anti-immigrant shit. but using Jesus. She uses the F slur and says Jesus, right? And then Riley doesn't recognize that. The religious addicts like Kristi Noem, who talks about God while she's fucking her chief of staff, okay? And then they vote for a rapist Epstein bestie like Trump, and then their only concern is the furry guy, okay? They're not worried about school shootings. They're not worried about the homeless or helping the poor, feeding the hungry. They're worried about the furry guy or the guy that might be having the wrong kind of sex or the guy who, like, oh shit, said something critical of that racist, transphobic Charlie Kirk guy, right? Because they're junked out on religion. All they can see is furries and litter boxes and trans genitalia, right? I mean, dude, she nails this.
You can Google it and read about it. And these religious addicts, like all addicts, sabotage things. Their default setting is to break things and create collateral damage. And I think even on the Supreme Court, we have some religious addicts.
Yes, we do.
And I think in the administration, we have a ton of religious addicts.
Yeah, they're the people with the eyes that look like they just crawled out of the underground bunker, right?
Mike Johnson, etc., Marco Rubio. And they think, okay, I'm doing a lot of bad shit in my private life. I guarantee you Sam Alito's Google search history is full of a lot of fuckery.
I'm sure it is, dude. Right? But look at that. You ready? Look at Riley, though. She said, I aspire to live my life so boldly for Jesus that people would call me a religious addict. Right? Of course you do, Riley. Right? Because you were at the University of Kentucky, and while your coach was raping your teammates, you didn't even care. You were just worried about the transgender person because that it gets your religious addiction fucking, jacked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Dude. Psychopaths, right? Psychopaths. You know what I'm saying? Dude, psychopaths. Dude, oh, yeah, Mike Johnson. Dude, Mike Johnson with his little adult black fucking adopted little brother or whatever. Dude, right? Dude, Mike Johnson is so closeted. So closeted, boss. Oh, my God. Dude, Riley Gaines is crazy, bro. She is crazy. Somebody said the Kash Patel thing, dude. Now I can't unsee it, right? I can't unsee the Kash Patel similarity. I mean, look at her, dude. Dude, the Riley Gaines, the eyes, bro. Dude, she is got those crazy, the Jesus eyes, boss. Okay? Dude, you ready? I got some photos, dude. There they are. Oh, look at that, bro. Oh, shit, boss. Dude, those eyes, right? Riley's eyes. Dude, she's got them, boss. Dude, what is up with her, bro? Dude, Riley is the weirdest she is the weirdest person. There she is at Mar-a-Lago. Dude, look at her, dude. Oh, shit, bro. At Mar-a-Lago. Dude, the Jesus eyes. But, dude, they all got them. Dude, like Amy Coney Barrett, right? You know what I'm saying? Like Amy Coney Barrett. Tell me, dude, she doesn't have the eyes, dude. Dude, right? They have them, dude. Oh, the fucking Jesus eyes. There she's got the, like, I'm gonna fucking take Trump out eyes. She doesn't like Donald Trump. Dude, that's her Donald Trump version. Oh, shit, bro. Isn't it funny, dude? Dude, the eyes. You know who else has them? Can I just show you? Is the redheaded libertarian, right? Dude, you know this woman? Dude, she blocked me. But the redheaded libertarian woman, dude, she's got them bad, bro. Dude, I once told her, I was like, dude, you look like you drank a Bible for breakfast. And she like flipped out on me, boss. Oh my God, dude. She blocked the shit out of me, dude. Oh, fuck. She is so funny, bro. Dude. Dude, she is crazy, bro. Look at her, dude. Dude, look at her. It's like, dude, they've like seen something, boss. You know what she blocked me for, though, too, guys? Can I just tell you? You know why she blocked me? Okay? Here's why she blocked me. It wasn't even about the Bible lies. Like, we would go back and forth and shit about that because I would call her out for being homophobic. But ultimately, the thing that made her block me was she did this libertarian thing in Washington, D.C. Remember when the libertarians had their fucking, their big libertarian conference or whatever in Washington, D.C., and there was an outside thing, and she was the speaker at this outside thing. And so I got on her page and I was like, yo, Josie, you have like 900,000 followers on Twitter. But you just did this libertarian thing and only 6 people showed up to watch you speak. So what's really going on with your Twitter? How can someone have 900,000 Twitter followers and you go speak at the libertarian thing and only 6 people showed up? Dude, and I was like, instantly blocked, bro. That was it. That was the thing that did it, bro. Oh, dude, so good, right? Oh my God, dude. Yeah, she fucking just burned, bro. Oh shit, dude.
Constitution on this. So it's the federal government's job, Article 4, Section 4, Article 1, Section 8 of the U.S. Constitution to protect the states from invasion. However, the 10th Amendment...
Dude, doesn't she, dude, I'm telling you, she is like Lindy Lee. She reminds me of Lindy Lee when I hear her voice. It's the same voice. Listen to her voice. All right.
For Section 4, Article 1, Section 8 of the U.S. Constitution to protect the states from invasion.
Dude, she thinks she's all constitutional. Let's listen to Lindy Lee, dude. You ready? You listen to Lindy Lee. It's the same fucking voice, bro. It is the same voice.
I revere our Constitution. I revere freedom of the press, freedom of assembly, freedom and the obligation, the privilege to hold our leaders to.
She's like Lindy Lee on decaf, boss.
Or Article 1, Section 8 of the U.S. Constitution to protect the states from invasion. However, the 10th Amendment says that if the federal government is failing...
Dude, if Lindy Lee drank fucking decaf, it's the same voice, bro. Tell me I'm wrong, dude. I'm not wrong, boss. Oh, shit. All right. All right, you guys ready for a dance party? Dude, we went long tonight. We went long because I spent an hour fucking, right, Lindy Lee on some of that purple drank, right? That's what it is, dude. Dude, Lindy Lee, after some trank, is Josie the redheaded libertarian. Dude, they do look similar. I think they have the same fucking craziness, bro. Dude, look at those eyes, though. She's got the craziest Bible eyes out there. Dude, yeah, no, that was a good show. It was the hour of fucking talking got us. But now it's dance time, dude. We're going to dance. I got to go make some videos. Let's get our fucking night moves on. Let's go, baby, let's go! Dude, oh shit, stretch it! All right, you guys ready? You ready for a little deja vu, guys? I'm ready for some deja fucking vu, boss. Deja motherfucking vu, baby. Yo. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all the support. for bringing the dance parties. You guys come through every night. Let's go. Oh, shit, dude. Tonight we got jiggy with it. Glad you guys are here. Don't strip. Dude, I don't have an ass, boss. I can't be a stripper. I'm a Wisconsin assless. Are you ready? Let's go. Dude, let's go. Let's get in, boss. Get into it. Oh, oh, oh. That is an Atari controller, yeah. Let's go, baby. Woo. That was some fucking juice, boss. Again, I'm not tempted. Woo. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with everything. I'm in love, I'm in love, I'm in love with everything but me. Thank you guys. Keep it together, all right? We're gonna win this, all right? Don't get too down. I know the overwhelming Trump shit, it gets on us. But we are in this together, baby. We're going to come out swinging. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good night.